everyone, and welcome back to Side B. I almost forgot which podcast this was.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't even know where I am right now.
And we are doing the post E3 press conferences the podcast.
Signing off.
Signing off. Yeah. Good night, everybody. See you next year. See you in 2020.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah.
So anyway, joining me, I'm Professor Icepick, and joining me tonight is
KG. I'm KG.
I'm not so KG.
And I'm crashing it.
Oh no.
Oh no, we have a new challenger. He has invaded from the realm of Disc 1.
Yeah. This
You
one.
know, it's kind of weird that there will actually be a Disc 1 for a certain game.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Getting ahead of ourselves there, aren't we?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, but we'll get to that.
Yeah,
part
we'll get to
later.
that. But yeah, we are doing it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday night, so all of the press conferences are over. I mean, there is still at least one announcement I'm looking forward to, but you know, wait for Disc 1 on that.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I've got like Suda51's gonna do something tomorrow. Part of me thinks it's just gonna be him showing off more of No More Heroes 3, but deep in the dark. I hate this about this because I always say that I take more after my mom, but if there's one thing I got from my dad, it's like I have this little nugget of optimism at all times, and I hate it because it just gives me heartbreak most of the time.
I also get heartburn.
I want to believe that he might announce HD remasters of the first two No More Heroes games. Yeah, I know. Like, no chance, right? No fucking chance.
Dude, you almost made me spit out my Coke.
Yeah, I know, right? No fucking
Yeah,
chance
shit.
right there.
Like, I honestly thought it was No More Heroes 3 since he teased it.
No, I thought that was what he was going to announce there too, but then it's like, oh no, it's at the we got that today, and I'm like, oh okay, well I wonder what's tomorrow then. It's probably just going to be more footage, but what would really fuck me up though is if it ended up being a Lollipop Chainsaw remaster.
Ooh.
No one remembers that game.
I do.
Yeah.
I own it.
Or
still.
maybe even Shadows of the Damned. That'd be pretty cool. I mean, I guess EA apparently doesn't own that, which surprised me.
We could finally get a Shadows of the Damned sequel.
Oh,
Ah,
that'd be nice. I mean, he said something about making a Sudaverse of some kind, which I'd be down with. A
Sudaverse.
Sudaverse, yes.
Yeah.
We did get one piece of news which kind of shocked KG and myself tonight.
What's that?
Konami revealed that they are also getting into the miniature console market with the
Oh, you mean-
TurboGrafx 16 Mini.
Wow. You mean the very same concept that Devolver Digital made fun of in their conference?
I mean, Sega did it after they made fun of it last year.
mhm.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I mean,
No, they made fun of it this year too.
No, they did. Did they?
Yeah, they did.
Did they make fun? That must have been a
Yeah.
throwaway line. I thought that they were focused more on like making fun of. No, because last year they had like it was literally just like a spray painted Sega Dreamcast, and that's how they showed off Metal Wolf Chaos XD.
Mhm.
No. It was the whole monologue before Nina Struthers revealed new arcade cabinet.
Oh yeah, you're right. Well, yeah, they went on like a huge delusional rant about. Yeah, they mentioned loot box coin there too.
Yeah, that was from last year.
I loved loot box coin. I wish I had one. But yeah, so TurboGrafx 16, we've only got like 6 games so far, but one of them is Ys books 1 and 2, which that's nice. I like that.
Yes.
They really want to impress me. Get Wanderers from Ys on there.
I mean, I think we can all agree that they need Sherlock Holmes consulting detective.
I also made that joke. Yes, I made that joke when when KG was telling me about this, and I realized that the multiple, they're doing the whole West Japan game split thing. So
Why, they had Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective a year before Sega CD Mini.
What was that? What
What
was
was
that?
that?
No, it's a line from Johnny Turbo.
No, not that. Like KG was playing music while you were saying that or something.
I
Yeah.
don't think that was me.
You
That
looked
wasn't
like you
me.
were flashing. It looked like you were flashing when it popped up.
Weird.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah, so yeah, E3. It sure was this year.
it was an E3 this year. Yeah, I
Sure
remember
was
that.
an E3.
Yeah.
I mean, I remembered
It was
reading something I saw online from Larry Bundy, a person that you know that I enjoy following on YouTube, and he pointed out something, and it made me think, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? That's right.
It
This
made
is-
you think?
Yeah, it made me think. It made me think, which is pretty amazing in this day and age.
A dangerous pastime.
It is a very dangerous pastime. But
It
what he's
was one I used to like doing.
but basically, I'll paraphrase here. What he said was that this was the last, basically the last E3 before you know next gen really starts ramping up. You know, we have the latest possible time next gen is starting up is holiday 2020. So this was a filler year, and you know what? As far as filler years go, I think they did a good job.
Well, most
Right.
of it was announced. Yeah, most games were announced for 2020,
Yeah.
and
A lot of it was for the first quarter, specifically March.
Right. So
Exactly,
that's
yeah.
fine.
Annoying as fuck.
well, let's see. I mean, I like that they actually had a set set time the frame of reference, the set time reference for every game they announced. Well, almost every game, but
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
the majority of the games had like at least, if not a release date, then at least a release window.
this window, yeah.
Right.
And it's not like other E3s where it just says coming soon or now
Maybe
in
someday.
development.
Maybe
Exactly.
someday.
Yeah.
No, that's what I want. I want a game trailer to like finish.
It says maybe someday.
It just maybe someday under the title, and that's how the trailer. No, that's what they should have done. They should have done a Metroid Prime 4 trailer. And it's just
Yeah.
it's just a picture of Samus, and then then it cuts back to the same JPEG that they announced the game with, and then maybe someday underneath it. And that's the trailer for Metroid Prime 4. I mean, that's not fair. They had to restart development on that. That's
Yeah.
not fair.
That's totally fair. You can laugh.
Well, no, I know
Nobody's
that.
gonna judge you.
I agree that I can laugh. I'm just saying that, like, I feel like using Metroid Prime 4 specifically as a punching bag feels a little like there are so many better options though, like Shenmue 3. Eh?
Shit, man. Yeah, that is a disaster.
Yeah, no, it's
Nobody's happy about that.
no
at
one
all.
is happy. The fact that they said no refunds. That's where like the main like whenever games in the past have done that, it's like people have bitched about it, and they're like, oh, you're bitching about it. And then they say, well, if you don't like it, we'll refund your money. I'm sorry that we couldn't please you with our decision, but, you know, we hope to see you as customers later when this exclusivity contract. No. Deep Silver and WiseNet, I believe it's WiseNet. Deep Silver and WiseNet had the balls to say no refunds. And that's when everyone turned on. Like, that's when even people who would, like, just say, oh, you're just being a crybaby, just download the fucking launcher because I don't know anything about anything because I'm a piece of shit who pretends to know a goddamn thing about PC gaming. Just download the fucking launcher, you bigot.
Yeah.
And
No,
it's like,
I
then
understand.
it's like mainstream were like, oh shit. It was at this precise moment in time that they fucked up more than anyone else. The other games that had done that, they either honored the Steam pre-orders on Steam, like with Metro Exodus and Anno 1800.
I think
Yeah.
it was
That shit,
2600.
yeah,
2600.
something like
Yeah.
that. Or they said, you know what, we're doing this, but you can have a refund if you don't like it.
Right.
And it's like, that's fine. Okay, fine. Refund. I'll wait for the game to come out on the platform I care about, but yeah, refund. Okay, cool. Not ideal, but I'll take it. But they had the fucking balls to say no refunds. And you know what the worst part about that is? People actually looked it up. That might be an antitrust law violation in, you know, the European Union. And do you know where Deep Silver's headquarters is?
In Europe.
Yes, in fucking Europe.
Oh, I thought up my ass.
Well, it might as well be.
Yeah. I think...
Go ahead.
I think the other worst part... Well, it almost feels to me similar to how Dragon Quest has a bad stroke of luck. But it feels even worse when you've been waiting all this time for, like, a revival of sorts. And it's like, on one hand, a certain game that we're going to bring up came out here after many years, like a dream come true. And then on the other hand, you have this other dream project that was announced at Sony's 2015 conference. And when you think about it, it's like each one of those were like monkey's paw situations, with Last Guardian being the least.
Yeah, the fact that The Last Guardian ended up being out of that trio of announcements, the one that fucked up the least is amazing in and of itself.
Pretty much. But it just not only feels like it poisoned the well for Shenmue fans in particular.
Oh no, it's poisoned the well for crowdfunding.
Pretty much.
No, it has. I'm not kidding. Like, I saw some dude, I replied on, PC Gamer is basically Epic Games is like, it's their propaganda wing at this point. Everyone knows it.
Yeah.
And, they were doing that's the best part about that. So now they're fucking backpedaling because of the bad press over that. But, they said that, okay, they're looking into what they want to do with this. They're looking into how they want to sort this. And I just said, well, you know what? It doesn't matter at this point. You've poisoned the fucking well for crowdfunding in general. Yeah, I will never kickstart Indiegogo or anything like that. I was never going to use Fig because that's just a scam. I will never do that to another video game as long as I live because they've poisoned the well. And I'm not the only one. And some dude even said in the he replied to a guy who replied to me who was basically saying, yeah, you're right. I'm never going to do that again either. It's like, well, what can we say that would cause you to come back? Because I'm thinking of starting up a Kickstarter, but, you're right, this has poisoned the well, but what can I do? If we promise to put it on Steam, and I roll my eyes when I read that. I roll my fucking eyes. Oh, you're gonna promise to put, like how WiseNet promised to put it on fucking Steam? Like how not even a week before this bullshit, you had a survey out with Steam written on it?
I don't know why.
We live in a society.
Oh Jesus Christ!
No, I'm kidding. We live in a world. We live in a world where Epic Games, the people who made the Unreal Engine, have become the evil empire of PC gaming. And you want to know who the fucking big good is in all this?
Is it Microsoft?
It is Microsoft, and it blows my fucking mind. I still remember Games for Windows Live. That thing was a pile of shit. But you know what the best? You know what the good thing about that is, though? When they stopped the service, they didn't kill the games. You can still access all the games on there.
Yeah.
Because they were like...
I feel like if Epic Game Store went under, they would keep the exclusivity for as long as they could out of spite and just not have the games available.
No, seriously.
I mean, considering the fact that they've been acting out of spite, I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah, no, but you know what the best part about it is? Microsoft is going up and buying rights to these games to put on Game Pass now. They're like going behind Epic's back and like fucking over their exclusivity contracts. And for $5 a month to play these games, price is right. And Epic is so fucked right now. Do you know what they're doing? They used to be handing out a free game every 2 weeks, every fortnight. Every fortnight.
Did they ever say that?
They didn't say that. They didn't say that, but I feel like you were supposed to get that. But now they're moving it up to one a week now, permanently for the rest of the year. Does that sound like the actions of a company that isn't fucked right now?
So, I kind of want to go back onto the Kickstarting thing.
Okay.
Like, let me think for a moment. So, I feel like, there's been multiple projects where, like, even if they came out and whatnot, there's usually these pitfalls that they fall into that they need to climb back out. And considering that we have people that are already skeptical, like if something goes wrong, it's enough to basically put them off. So in my particular case, like them fighting herds initially went well, but then it's like, oh wait, we kind of need a story. So it's not exactly the launch one. It's technically a beta. We'll launch the story mode.
Yeah, they're still at like version 0.9999999 at this point.
Pretty much. You had the Muv-Love trilogy.
What happened with that?
Oh, it's basically done. They shipped everything. But what happened, like around the time, is that they got distribution with Rice Digital.
Mm-hmm.
And so they managed to ship out the Rice Digital copies out before the backer physical copies.
Right.
And so I don't remember when I got mine. It was either in mid-July or mid-August, and it launched on Rice Digital on June 8th. And so that alone was like the thing where I was just like, okay, you know what? I probably shouldn't back physical games anymore and just get the code. Of course, there was also the Bloodstain thing where the codes for the Curse of the Moon game took ages to come out.
Not if you got the game on PC,
right.
baby.
Right, and they at least gave they gave us a temporary key at the very least. And so right now, they're making sure they have enough copies.
Oh yeah, no, I saw
enough,
that update.
Not just enough copies, but make sure they get out in time.
Yeah, I've heard that they're already shipping. They're already shipping all the physical editions, which is good for me because thanks to a certain little gnat that's been crawling into my skin, I don't get to keep my code. He's getting my code. I'm getting a physical copy on Steam.
Right.
Sweet.
Which that'll be fun.
Like I feel like I read something where they said they will provide a temporary code in case we don't get our physical copies.
I mean, that'd be cool, honestly.
And so I was pretty excited. And then I remembered, I switched it to the Switch. And,
wait, could I get my temporary code for GOG? Nah, I'm kidding. That'd be awesome if I could, though. I would love that. I would love to have a GOG code on there.
But it's just like, oh man, it's coming a week later and whatnot. But at the same time, I'm like, if I were to be honest, there's technically no good time for me to receive it, given Judgment coming out the week of.
Right.
The PS4 version. That's if you preload the digital version. But in my case, it's the week after, since I didn't preload it. But the Switch version comes out the same week as both Judgment and Mario Maker.
Yeah, so you're fucked from both ends, basically.
Pretty much. And then 2 weeks later is when the July onslaught hits for games, and so I'm not solely worried about Bloodstain soaking up time or not getting enough time. I'm also worried about Judgment in that regards as well. But I think Mario Maker will at least be more pick up and play friendly. But it's just like, I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to kickstart stuff anymore. I did kickstart 2 other things more recently.
Right.
And I just went with digital for those due to the other things.
I think my latest crowdfunding thing was Blasphemous, which got a got a publisher recently. They're with Team 17 now.
Hmm.
So that's pretty cool. I mean, I'm cool with them.
I
They seem
mainly-
to do an alright job.
I think the last two things I backed were the Chicken Wiggle HD.
How did that
thing.
turn out?
I think so far that went well, but
Are you
What I
angry?
think
Are you angry to hear about the Atui collection from Limited Run Games?
I don't actually remember that.
It's for the.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I actually decided to look up Chicken Wiggle, and the last email I got was back in May 13th, where it comments about how it's been more than 4 months since the last update.
And that was the entire update was just them telling you, man, it's been a long time since we told you anything about this.
Yes, and then it says all the Atoi games are on sale for 80% off.
That was still the weirdest gaming divorce I think we've ever seen because it wasn't like a messy. It was amicable.
Yeah. So, yeah, like, I just remembered about Chicken Wiggle because of this. And then the other thing is Monster Crown, which was basically like Pokemon, which I mainly only backed it because of how edgy I was with Pokemon for a while. And ironically enough, it basically looks like an edgy Pokemon.
I mean, we've all done stupid things out of edginess. I mean, I backed Mighty Number 9 because I felt edgy.
And you
Right.
didn't pay enough to get in the elite tier where they remove your name from the credits.
Like,
I still think the funniest thing I remember seeing is that, like, I ended up paying $60 into Mighty Number 9, and I paid $60 into Shantae 4. And what I remember is that people were, like, saying that, "Aw, man, I regret putting so much money into Mighty Number 9 because I wanted to put more money into Shantae." And I'm just, like, thinking to myself, I put the same amount of money in it, but I'm second guessing myself after that. I'm like,
It is personally your fault we didn't get those extra levels.
There was only one level that we missed on the kick. Speaking of which, where the fuck is Shantae 5? They announced that and then nothing, and they keep on saying it's coming out this year, but like nothing.
they did.
I am not expecting it this year.
But they said
not
2019.
I mean, they might still be using... Indies have a terrible, terrible track record for coming out on time.
That's true, but I mean, like, why would you... Like don't even...
I
maybe someday! Just use the maybe someday line.
I think the biggest reason why they have a bad track record is because they actually tell us every goal post that they try to make, and it's not quite like that with other developers on average.
I mean, yes, I do appreciate the attempt at being more... Yeah, the attempt at transparency, but at the same time, it does kind of fuck them in the ass a lot. But I mean...
Yeah.
There is one last story that I'd like to say before we actually get started on the real topic.
I mean, it's still related.
That's
so.
true. That's true. There's only one company out there that has taken Epic's money hat that I still respect, and that would be the developers of Untitled Goose Game, because they actually tweeted about this. They said that, like, originally they were going to launch on Switch first and then work on the PC versions later, but because they were able to take the money hat from Epic, they could launch on both platforms simultaneously. And they said that they were looking forward to being on Steam and itch.io, but, you know, they couldn't do it yet, but, you know, they'll keep us posted. And I saw that, and I responded to them, and I said that, well, you know, fair enough, I'm not going to buy your game now, but, like, let me know when, you know, when you have an idea of when you're going to be on other platforms, and maybe try to get on GOG as well, because, you know, that'd be cool.
Right. You know, I guess maybe, I'm not sure, but maybe in a way it technically kind of gets to Steam faster, because we don't know how long the PC port would have taken.
Right, but I mean, I'm fine. See, that's the thing, though. I would respect these companies more if they just, like, if the CEOs of all these companies would just start sobbing and talking about how Tim Sweeney personally drove up to their houses with a dump truck full of money and asked us for forgiveness because they're not made of stone.
Oh man, I've really been hitting the bathroom quite a bit today.
I can
Just
believe
been
it.
eating veggies. like, I actually felt malnourished around 4 o'clock. Like, I was just laying on my bed because I was done with work.
Right.
Not officially, but for the most part, I was done with everything I needed to do, and I just realized, holy crud, I need to get something in my stomach. Like, I wasn't hungry, but I knew I was lacking something. So I just devoured a bunch of zucchini and peaches and nectarines. And
What?
Then, but basically, I've been going to the bathroom a lot today.
I
It
can't
just
blame
feels
you.
like I'm being emptied. Excavated.
You know, it's actually kind of weird because it bugs me now because now I'm actually getting likes on these tweets I've been like I used to just lurk on Twitter all the time. Now I'm responding to people and I'm getting likes for it, and it confuses me. Like, I'm not getting like 100 likes. I'm just like getting like 3, and I'm like, why? Why do you like this? I'm yelling at people. You can yell at the people too.
E3 is a different time, you know. E3 brings out everybody.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of which, I decided to go to Twitter because, for no reason, I just wanted to see if I got notifications, and I did in regards to my tweet with a picture of the collection of mana, the Japanese and the English version, and Cadence of Hyrule, and I got responses, and one of the things that I've been thinking about is how come for phone notifications they don't separate like their replies from like other shit, like because when you get replies and stuff, they put it at the bottom of the notification list from Twitter,
Right.
and the only ones that are treated separately are like your DMs. But what about my notifications from people that responded to my tweets? I want to see those more than most of Wario's tweets, to be honest.
Right.
Because he wants you to smell his onion armpits.
But yeah, like, I follow him for deals and stuff. Who doesn't? But
I don't.
yeah.
I don't follow Wario. Fuck him. Fuck Wario 64. Nah, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But, like, could you imagine if someone actually said that?
That'd be great. But
fucking Wario 64, you're killing my friend's phone. Stop it.
yeah. I just like, it's like I don't mean to, but it's just like I don't feel like going through them because it sometimes fucks up when I try to get rid of notifications by getting rid of everything. So it's just like, oh.
So you just feel lonely now.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. So we'll do what
I guess we can. I guess we'll actually start after he gets back then.
Sure.
So far, I've only ever backed one game on Kickstarter or any other crowdfunding platform.
Oh yeah, which game was that?
It was actually Bloodstained.
Oh, cool. So you're gonna get the. Oh wait, did you only put in like a little bit?
I only put in $10. It was just like a good faith gesture because they were one of the first to have console in the main goal.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna... For some reason, I don't really feel like getting a physical copy. I'll probably just get the download one when it comes out in a week.
Okay, that seems fair. I mean, you were gonna... Are you gonna get it on PS4 or Switch?
PS4, mainly because it comes out there first, and like the Switch version, it's kind of like there's some uncertainty on its performance.
Yeah, they did mention that there were a lot of people. Was it at PAX that people were complaining about performance issues? Like it was chugging along at times.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm just trying to fill dead air until
That's alright.
gets back. So
let's go through everything important EA did before he gets back.
Oh yeah,
I'll fill 5 seconds.
Apparently they did a VR show this year at E3. I didn't watch it. Apparently Dari watched it, and then he was like yelling at me because he watched it, and I don't get why he was yelling at me for that. I didn't tell him to watch it. I never told him to watch that.
Wait, he was yelling at you because you didn't watch it?
No, he was yelling at me because he watched it.
Okay.
No, I don't understand that. No, okay. Actually, I remember the context now. We were watching one of the other showcases, and they brought up VR, and that reminded him that he had watched part of the VR thing, and like myself, he really hates VR, which is why I ignored it, and that's why I'm not... There isn't going to be a recap on that unless KG or KI watched it, which I doubt they did.
I didn't even watch it.
I hate VR also.
Right, but it's like, I don't understand why he, like the thing is that I only really watch conferences where I have a feeling that something could possibly pop up that I might like. Like, that's why I was able to watch Ubisoft this year. I mean, I regret it. Usually, I don't watch Ubisoft live. Usually, I just get the recording, I watch it at double speed, chug it through. Same way I would watch EA if I were to decide to watch that. But this year I decided to watch it live. I can't say that I regret it, but I'll just let my thoughts speak for themselves when we get to that. I think I might have been the only one. Psych, did you watch it?
This is my second year when I did not watch the Ubisoft conference live.
I don't blame you. It was god-awful.
I didn't even watch it after it was over. Just, I wasn't interested. Ubisoft had no upcoming games that were of any interest to me, and I just decided, screw it, not gonna even watch this. I hope somebody else watches it so somebody can talk about it, but other than that, just, nah.
Well, I guess you can call me your genie, then, because I did actually watch it, and I regret everything. I think what's so baffling about it is not what was there, although, again, I'm trying to hold back on what I have to say about that, because I went on a bit of a delusional rant while I was watching it. Mm-hmm. But what really bugged me was what wasn't there. And no, that's not a reference to Rayman. It was a reference to a game that is highly anticipated by pretty much everyone besides me. I'm not saying like literally every single, but like I am complete. This game, the appeal for Beyond Good and Evil 1 just completely goes over my head. I don't get it. It is completely out of my wheelhouse. But people wanted it, so I'm like, yeah, okay, fine. You guys can have it. That's cool. But like everything I've heard about it is telling me that best case scenario, it's the West's answer to Mega Man Legends 3, and that's the best case scenario. The best case scenario would be that they cancel this game and then start again when they're actually willing to take it seriously.
Wait, which game?
Beyond Good and Evil 2?
Oh. Okay. Yeah, I guess.
Okay, so they're making a prequel to a single-player game.
I know that.
I know. Well, I always like to go over like just what.
Oh, for the audience. Okay.
Yeah, for the audience, of course. So they make a prequel to a single-player focused game with a massive cliffhanger for an ending. That is also a multiplayer online game. Why? Why though?
Because it's current year. You can't... Single player is dead. Didn't you listen to the propaganda articles?
God. Okay, well, I guess now that KG's back, I guess we can actually get into it.
Yeah.
So let's start with Microsoft. All right. Microsoft was pretty good this year.
It was okay. Yeah. I mean, listen. I thought the games they showed were all right, but the presentation itself, I think it just went on a deep dive when they showed the Gears 5 trailer. I just was bored out of my fucking mind watching it.
I still thought what I loved about the Gears 5 thing was how they built an entire like set under the stage, and they only used it to have like 3 WWE superstars play the game on stream, and that was it. that was it. That was why they built an entire set underneath there.
Yeah, I mean, the thing was though is that I did not watch the gameplay
Right.
The trailer itself did not appeal to me. It was just another fucking CG trailer with top 40 bullshit music.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like some woman's face turning into a bunch of other characters' faces.
Like, what does that say to me? What does that tell me?
Well,
Like,
it's telling
nothing.
me, Psych, that Gears 5 is a game that needs to think big. How could I resist that? I don't even know what that was like a parody of, but I will always remember that.
It did seem weird to me that a game coming out in September just basically got that kind of trailer.
Maybe it'll have like a big actual gameplay reveal in like at Gamescom.
Gamescom.
Yeah, Gamescom.
I don't know, KG. I mean, remember
When's
they did like,
Gamescom?
when's the game come? That's
August.
I think it's
August.
Okay, I was about to say October. I was close. But,
Yeah, October is TGS, so...
yeah.
Mhm.
No, but what I was about to say is that it's not that weird because No Man's Sky basically did the same thing. And they showed a game off at E3 months before release.
I feel like they showed us some, like, you know, clearly scripted gameplay at, like, last year's E3 when they first announced Gears 5.
Yeah.
What happened to that
Honestly-
strategy game on PC, anyway? Did that come out?
Whoa, what's it called?
I like Gears Strategy or something. I don't know.
Gears Cross Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
No, like I said, excuse me. Gears, after that Gears trailer and the gameplay footage, I just lost interest in whatever. I mean, I didn't lose interest. It just the presentation kind of just went slow afterwards.
It was actually called Gears Tactics, now that I'm looking at it. Let's see if it came out.
I don't think it did.
It did not.
I feel like I would have known if it did. Because it was the one I actually had interest in.
Are you telling me that you don't care about Gears Pop?
The less we talk about that, the better.
No, but I guess if Microsoft really had a killer app at the event, it would have to have been honestly probably Battletoads for me.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
It's
I
okay.
think, I mean, he specifically said it was for him.
Yeah, for me.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's right,
I'm not like
yeah.
saying like that's the best game. Everything else sucked. I'm just saying that like if
Sure,
there's any
but
game that go ahead.
this is a podcast, and we're just we're allowed to
Yeah, no,
beat each other up.
exactly.
No,
This is an American gaming podcast. Each year,
yeah. I'd also say either Battletoads or Ori 2 for my most wanted game there.
Ori 2 is
Ori
good.
2.
Ori 2 was
Yeah.
good, but it's like, when they said 2020, I'm like, 2020?
it set the tone.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I still need to play through the first one, so...
I am gonna be waiting a long time anyway, either until I get a Scarlet or Switch gets a version of it.
Right.
Either or.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, the thing was Battletoads is that I wasn't really sure about the design of the Battletoads themselves, and even the main antagonist. What's her name?
Oh, the Dark Queen. Yeah, they really... Yeah, they really did a
Simplified.
number on her. She
Yeah.
looks incredibly generic. She's just wearing like a jumpsuit and purple gloves. She looks like she's dressed like Dexter off of Dexter's Lab or something. That's how she looks.
Mm. So, gameplay-wise, though, it looks really good. But design-wise, I'm not sure. It's aesthetically pleasing, which I give it major points to.
See, the thing about it is that I look at Battletoads and it reminds me of OKKO, and I'm like, you know what? I like those designs, so I'm fine with this. And then I see Mike Z, our old friend, the curmudgeon who gave us Skullgirls and maybe someday Indivisible. Well, that's actually coming out this year too, but...
Oh, I forgot I backed that.
But he was like bitching about it. He was like, oh, they decided to make this fucking Flash animation for Battletoads. Well, you could have hired us, and we would have made Battletoads anime again. And I'm like, settle down, buddy boy. First off, what you make isn't anime. It's It's about as anime as Totally Spies, and secondly, Battletoads was never anime, you fucking prick.
Yeah, how was it?
Well,
It wasn't.
if I were to be honest, it means they were both fappable.
I mean, I'll give you that for the
Anyway.
Dark Queen, but the Dark Queen's design was... The Dark Queen, I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't really mind what they did to the Dark Queen because I wasn't really that attached to her original design, because in the old game, she was basically just evil Jessica Rabbit. And that's it. Evil Jessica Rabbit. That was her design.
Thing is, though, is that they kept that design for a while, and suddenly they changed it into a much less,
Dynamic.
dynamic, I mean, like, noticeable figure, noticeable design. They just, hack and slash at her.
I mean, I know that you
get
didn't...
this generic-
I know that you
yeah.
didn't like Zitz's design, but what I kind of liked about it was that, like, you know how some frogs have, like, slit eyes?
Yeah.
They gave him
yeah.
those. I liked that about him. I liked how they differentiated the way that Zitz and Rash looked, because I'm going to be honest with you, I could never tell them apart as a kid. I know that's racist against anthropomorphic toads, but I couldn't tell them apart.
It's like, no, it's fine. We just call those guys like police.
Well, I could tell them apart. I mean, I could tell them apart design-wise.
I mean,
not because
for
of
me,
the
it was like the colors was the only way I was going to be able to tell them apart.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's
Like one of them was
really
green, and the other one was a slightly more bluish green.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. That's what I was to say.
Right. But God, what else did they do there?
I like the presentation. Going back to the presentation, I really like that they introduced, not introduced, but they presented Keanu Reeves.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
That was really cool.
I think it's.
I think you
interesting.
mean Miyamoto.
Oh God, that whole rumor. I still love that's what people ended up thinking was that. Well, when they rumored that Miyamoto was going to show up, they thought that the people who leaked it just racistly confused Keanu Reeves for Miyamoto somehow. How does that even happen? But anyway, there was the Lego car. I liked that. I liked the Lego car.
Yeah, it picked up a little bit. That was after the Gears trailer.
Yeah, that was after the Gears trailer. I remember we were all making jokes that they spent so much money on the Gears stage that they had to build a car out of Legos.
At that point, I was still ahead of you guys. I found out, he was Lego. I couldn't cheer because I thought I would ruin it for you guys since I really thought you'd like that.
Oh yeah, no, the Lego car was cool.
Yeah.
Elder Ring, is it? Elden Ring.
Elden Ring.
Oh yeah.
That, I mean, that was like the worst kept secret of the entire show, but I mean, people like Dark Souls. It's not really my thing, but people like
George
it.
R. Martin is capitalizing on that Guillermo del Toro shit.
He really needs to finish up those books though, because people are pissed at the ending of the TV show, and
I think it's because it's like, it's similar to how Toriyama gave a basic outline of Dragon Ball Super's plot points.
right.
And then they basically just went, all right, let's do what we can with this, and you have wildly different interpretations.
Right, but the problem with that is that, like,
They were also in
I was,
we're getting ready to fuck off and get money from Netflix.
yeah, but I was also going to say, like, I mean, another thing that you have to realize is that even Toriyama himself wasn't really that good of a writer. I mean, for most of Dragon Ball, for most of Dragon Ball's original run, he had a editor on his ass the entire time.
Yeah.
And then they decide, he's like, okay, I'm done with this. And they're like, please keep writing. We'll do anything. No more editors. We'll give you the easiest going editor in the world. He's like, okay. And then the writing quality just dips immensely.
I don't know. I like the Frieza saga.
No. He still had the big editor at that point, though. No. After the Cell Saga, they gave him
That's
the
right.
most. Yes, after the Cell Saga, he wanted to quit, and then they said, "No, please, we just need a little bit more, please. We'll give you the most easygoing editor in the world. We'll let you write the Boo Saga. We'll let you write whatever you want." And it just turned to shit. And then it just turned to shit. Exactly.
Yeah. No. What was
weird,
surprising
like,
to me?
I
Go
feel
ahead.
like watching the Boo Saga again, there's some extra appreciation I have for it in a way, but at the same time, especially since they did less to trim the fat with the Boo Saga, and it still felt terribly long, I might say. It also made me realize I hated certain characters that I didn't before, like Gotenks. He's just fucking annoying as shit.
No, the problem the problem I have with the Boo Saga overall, though, is that, like, it's like he kept on coming up with ideas, and then he immediately got sick of them after he thought of them.
Well, yeah.
It almost feels like the Cell Saga in a way. When did it stop?
No, it just stopped. Okay, sorry. Technical difficulties. We're coming back here. Yeah, we were talking about Dragon Ball. Sorry, I wasn't looking at the screen.
Okay.
We were talking about Dragon Ball. The worst part about it is that, like, yeah, I get what you mean when you're talking about how the Cell Saga basically, yeah, just threw stuff up. But the thing is that wasn't entirely Toriyama's fault. That was his editor's. Right. His editor was like...
Yeah, actually, I was going to bring that part up.
Okay, so the two main bad guys in the saga are an old man and a clown, and his editors are like, "Are you fucking kidding me? No, try again." Yeah. Okay, there are these two hot teenagers. Are you fucking kidding me? Try again. Okay, this ugly bug man. God, what the fuck is wrong with you? This thing looks stupid. Try again. Okay, this racist bug man. Are you having a fucking laugh with me? Change it again. Okay, this extremely sexy-looking Frieza-ass bug man. Okay, this is fine. You're done.
You know, it's funny because I'm pretty sure he would have been able to get away with it. I'm sorry. I'll show you in a bit why I just stopped and lost my train of thought. But it's weird because when you think about it, he probably could have gotten away with hot teenage androids being menaces nowadays.
Well, yeah, nowadays, but here's the thing that I find really interesting is that apparently in interviews, Toriyama was saying that he wanted to do more stuff with semi-perfect Cell, apparently.
Yeah, he did.
And they were like, no, fuck that shit. Go to the final form immediately, right now. That's bad. That's a bad Toriyama. That's racist. That's racist, Toriyama.
Racist Cell.
You know, the thing was I found interesting is, and I didn't know this before, is that how Dragon Ball GT ended in Japan. Apparently it was due to fatigue. And it didn't start with the airing of Dragon Ball GT that everybody was tired of Dragon Ball in general in Japan. It started with the Boo Saga.
Well, yeah, everybody was just tired. I could believe that because it's like I said, the problem with the Boo Saga, in my opinion, is just that, like, he came up with ideas but immediately got sick of them, and that's kind of why I feel like Toriyama always needs to have a filter at like all times. I'm not saying that he's a shit writer, but the problem is that he's scatterbrained. Think of all of the Dragon Ball characters who got left by the wayside by Toriyama.
Oh shit, dude. I am so sad that the human characters just got replaced by Goku and Vegeta.
Like, but the other thing about
the weird thing.
Go ahead.
No, hold on, sorry, but that's the weird thing though. Like, you know, throughout most of Dragon Ball Z, they at least gave like human characters a shot and whatnot, and like even in Boo's saga, there were still elements where it's like, okay, Goku's gonna fuck off, like he usually does, because every single Dragon Ball Z arc starts with him getting
Incapacitated, right?
for whatever reason, and like in Boo's saga, he technically already is.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, and then it's like, okay, we'll just leave him here. And then it's like, it kind of followed the same general formula of, okay, Goku will fuck off until we actually need him. So that part's consistent.
See, I think what I liked about the Cell Saga was that it was like the last point where you could really say that non-Saiyan characters were actually like legitimately relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Piccolo goes head-to-head with Android 17 and Imperfect Cell, First Form Cell. Krillin gets the whole thing with Android 18, and he actually gets to hit off the Kienzan, only it's useless.
Mm.
Which, yeah, that right there. And Tenshin Han got to fuck with Semi-Perfect Cell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Yamcha got fisted by an old man.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, that's how it went down, and that's our in-depth look at Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
It's probably gonna end at
Frieza. It'll probably end at Frieza.
You think so?
I know. So everyone just loves Frieza, and I don't hate Frieza, but I think he's massively overrated. I prefer Cell.
It just feels like
Cell's
he's
just
being overdone.
Cell's carbon copy of Frieza, though.
It's kind of like how we kept getting old Super Mario Brothers references. That was cute at first, but then it's like, okay, you don't need to do that. Or basically how I bitch about Pokemon Gen 1, that kind of thing. Right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
That was also a subtle hint.
Okay, do we just give a score to the Microsoft one then?
Score Toriyama out of 10.
Okay, KG, you?
I give it a Keanu out of Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's actually pretty accurate.
Okay, how about you?
There weren't enough games that were really my style to decide which actor/writer to score it.
Alright. I guess I give it a 7.5 out of 10 because I'm a boring fuck.
That's around where I would.
Let's move on to our next disaster.
Who was our next disaster?
That would be Bethesda. Okay. And oh boy! You know how I said I'd mellowed out about the Epic Game Store? I found a whole new thing to get angry about at this one.
Even better, I didn't even watch it.
I didn't watch it.
That's probably for the best.
There was an aspect that, like, I don't want to go into it, though.
Okay, do you guys mind then if I
Shoot for it.
Okay,
This is your soapbox.
Okay, Elder Scrolls Blades coming to Switch for no reason. Elder Scrolls Online is getting another expansion. They're fixing Fallout 76 for some reason, and they spent 20 fucking minutes talking about it.
Oh, Jesus.
The crowd noises were like... They hired the worst possible actors. They hired people that couldn't possibly rein it in so that they could sound like real crowd. They just had one guy go, wow, the whole fucking conference, at like anything, at like random things. And then we got that, the cute developer chick who showed us Ghostwire Tokyo, which that looks interesting even though there was no gameplay, so fuck it, who cares? Come back to me when you've got actual gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
And then they drop the ultimate this is the fucking monkey's paw. This is the fucking monkey's paw. This is the most fucking monkey's paw thing that has ever happened in the history of E3. It is. They bring back Commander Keen. as a fucking free-to-play mobile game.
And again, it's like we just had some revivals.
Yeah, but like
later on,
they brought back Commander fucking Keen, the poster child for computer-based platformers, and I know that KI is probably like laughing his ass off as I'm saying that. Like PC-based platformers. And no, they bring him back as a fucking mobile, generic-ass, mobile-ass game. I don't even care about, like, you know, the next generation. I thought that would have been a good idea in general. That would have been a good idea. I don't care about the aesthetic. I don't care about that. That's fine. No, you turned it into a mobile game for some reason. And you expected us to clap? Did Command and Conquer teach you nothing? Did Dungeon Keeper teach you nothing?
Did Don't You Have Phones teach them nothing?
Did Diablo fucking Immortal teach you nothing? Like,
Yeah.
excuse me for saying this. I'm going to say something that may go down as a bitter pill for KI, but PC gamers are among the most hardcore gamers out there. And this is
For
what you're
better or for
coming at
worse?
us with? Sorry, what?
For better or for worse?
For better or for worse, yes.
Mhm.
And that's what you're going to come at us with? A fucking mobile reboot of a property that the oldest among us hold near and dear to their hearts? That's what you're doing? Fuck you, you fucking mom jeans ass wearing piece of shit. No, you should have seen her. No, you should have seen her, because Dari and I were watching Bethesda together, and he was bitching that cute Japanese developer from Tango Gameworks, I think her name is Ikuki, was it?
Yeah.
He was like, oh, she's
actually
cute, but she's got no rack, and I'm like, what
God
the fuck
damn
is
it.
wrong with you, Dari?
Dude, okay, I actually wanted to talk about what Dari said about, what did he say about Keanu Reeves, man? When Keanu Reeves came up, he was talking about, oh, it just makes me want to watch his movies less now. I was like,
No.
what the fuck?
No. That's not what he said.
That's not what he said.
He said he didn't want the game as much anymore.
Oh my god, that's even worse!
No, he tried to explain it. It didn't make sense to me, but his explanation was that it's like, you know, when you put actors in games, it really draws attention to them, and he doesn't like... Dari has weird opinions, okay? We all know
I know,
this. We've known him for years. He has weird opinions. I was like, well, I don't really care one way or the other. He's Keanu Reeves. People like him. At least they didn't play the fucking Terminator theme song when he came out.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But anyway, and then this fucking mom body ass woman comes out with a shit-eating grin on her face as she
Okay,
just
go
ahead.
Just for me to know and for you to clarify to me, this is not the cute Japanese.
Oh no! This was the one who defecated all over Commander Keen's grave.
Okay.
Yes, no, fucking mom jeans ass wearing, basic bitch ass piece of shit. The only solace I take from that is that universally panned. Universally, no one spoke up for it. No one defended that. Everyone knew that was a foul.
Like no one spoke of it, and basically,
No one even trolled in favor of the mobile game. That's how poorly it went down.
It feels like it's been forgotten even.
I mean, Bethesda should probably hope that it gets forgotten. That would be the best. Honestly, that would be the best thing that they could have done with most of the conference. Let's see, there was what was it called? Deathloop, Ghost Loop, or something. That looked kind of interesting, but it was a fucking. It wasn't even a CG trailer. It was a live action trailer with like some black dude and some black chick talking about how they were like killing each other forever. Yeah, it was Deathloop. I mean, that's fine. It sounds like an interesting game, but you didn't show gameplay again. You showed me... Go ahead.
I do have something to rant about, but that's for way later.
Okay, that's fine. But the thing is that you don't show me a black dude yelling at a black woman and vice versa and expect me to make, that doesn't make me want to buy the video game. It doesn't. I'm sorry.
What happened? I already feel like I just got lost.
Okay, okay. The trailer for Deathloop, which is the new game from Arcane Studios,
All
which
right,
is
right.
the company that
I
brought
just
us
remembered
Dishonored.
I didn't watch this, so...
Right. I'm sorry. But
Oh,
so
I feel like...
go ahead.
Is that like a... Oh, wait, never mind. I feel like I've seen something like that.
The point is that the trailer was just, the black
Two
dude and
people.
the black woman yelling at each other the entire time. Like, as they were, like, killing each other in, like, a loop, basically. Like,
I strangely
like,
do
the
not
man
wanna make more
felt
comments on
tortured
this.
by this existence, but the woman felt... what's the word I'm looking for? Not invigorated, like, emancipated isn't quite the word, but, like, same basic definition.
Energized?
Not energized, like, freed.
I almost want to see this so that way I can understand more, but at the same time I really don't.
No, it was a stupid ad.
Right.
Interesting concept for a game, but stupid fucking ad. Cyberpilot, Wolfenstein Cyberpilot, I didn't really pay attention to that. I think I was still angry about Commander Keen at that point. BJ Blazkowicz's two badass twin daughters who... How did he even have kids if he got his head torn off his body?
He got a new body.
Yeah, but those wouldn't be his kids then.
Fine.
They wouldn't be...
They can still have fathered them. They just wouldn't have the same... Actually, no one's done a head transplant. No one knows how that would work.
I feel like... You know what, I'm not gonna bring it... We're going into, like, fucking Ricky Gervais show territory now with that, so I'm just gonna move on. Let's see, what else was it, Bethesda? They danced around... Let's see, there was Orion, of course, Orion, the streaming platform that they're putting out, which... Yeah, Bethesda putting out a streaming platform, that's not gonna fuck up. Although it was kind of a cool idea.
That's the first I've heard of that.
Yeah, they're starting up their own, like, streaming platform. The whole point of it is to sort of mitigate lag. They were going to do something special. I wasn't, like... Again, like I said, for up until Doom Eternal showed up, I was still, like half paying attention, half, like, raging at the world, basically. But yeah, and if you sign up for the Doom Slayers Club, you get a free copy of Doom 2016 on Orion. Hooray! And then came the Doom Eternal thing, which is honestly the only thing that was worthwhile at that entire event.
I honestly still don't know why they get 2 hours.
Did they do 2 hours? I thought it was like 90 minutes. No, it was 2 hours, you're right.
It was like...
Because, like, Devolver had to start late because of that.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, the Doom Eternal stuff looks good. It looks like this time he's actually going to fight with Heaven, so it looks like, despite the fact that we all thought that Doom Eternal was basically going to be a retread of Doom 2, it looks like it's going to be more than that, which... Mwah, good. I like that. I mean, Doom 2016 being a basic retread of the concept of the original game was fine. But, like, I want something new, too. Like, you only have 2 games to work with, basically, here.
What about Doom 3?
Like I said, you've only got 2 games to work with here. But, I mean, yeah... I guess I'm the only one who can really give a score on this one, but I give it a 3 out of 10.
Okay, 3.
I give it a November 22nd out of 10. That's the only part I really cared about.
No, that's fair, and I believe that we tried to warn you when that started showing up because you wanted to see that.
Yeah.
I didn't even really want to see it that badly. I just wanted to know the release date.
But yeah, it looks good. They did kind of ruin it a little bit with like the pre-order bonuses. They kind of went a little too meme heavy for some people's tastes. You got the Doot skin for the Revenant.
Yeah, I never get special editions anyway.
Oh no, I think that's a pre-order bonus. I am looking forward to that classic weapon sound pack though. That sounds kind of cool. I like the classic sound. Can we get classic enemy grunts though? That's what I would really. You know that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. like that. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm talking about. Just.
And then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking
Exactly.
about.
It's just whack ass noises, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we go on to.
Don't worry, Icepick will buff out those scratches.
one of my favorites, Devolver Digital.
Yeah,
Who
I
did
saw
a direct
that.
this year? Who did a direct
Yeah.
this year? They did a direct.
I saw that after it was over. I didn't catch it live, which unfortunately was a small regret of mine. But no, it was really fun. I liked it better than last year's.
Oh yeah, no, last year's I liked last year's a lot, but I also liked this year's a lot. I liked how they made it so that Nina couldn't swear at all for a while there, and she got like angry about that.
The thing was with last year's, I think it was a retread of the year before.
What I liked about last year's was that like they sort of caught me by surprise. It was like they had a new host, and then Nina like showed up halfway through and killed the new host and took over.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Let's see. So they showed off.
The games they showed off, they were pretty cool.
Yeah, I like Devolver Bootleg. I kind of want to pick that up. Hotline Milwaukee, of course.
Hotline Milwaukee, hell yeah.
Hotline Milwaukee. You have the Enter the Gungeon.
House of the Gun Dead.
Yeah, House of the Gun Dead, which is a literal fucking arcade cabinet, $5,000.
Yep.
And it's real, which is great. I love that.
Game of the generation.
Carrion looks like fun.
Carrion was the game was the highlight of their conference. I thought it looked really fucking cool.
I mean,
apparently they announced it last year.
Did they?
Not E3. Not
E3.
E3.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, not E3. I remember they announced it last year, and apparently it's coming out next year. No specific.
Yeah, they just said
time
2020. I think they just said PC and console, and that was they didn't specify which console, but they did say console. So it's okay. You don't have to worry about that one. It is coming to console.
Yep.
Okay.
We don't know which
It's
one.
really fun though.
I just remember getting so angry at their 2017 conference because they refused to say what anything was on.
Right. Let's see. They also had Fall Guys, which is probably the most interesting looking battle royale game I've ever seen in my life. It's like a 3D platformer, only it's a battle royale. It's like if Runbow and Super Mario 64 had a baby, and it was a battle royale game. Speaking of which, that reminds me, I was actually joking during the Fallout 76 thing that, are they going to add a battle royale mode? And then they added a fucking battle royale mode, and I got fucking angry about that. I screamed. I started screaming at that.
I would scream too.
Fucking hell. It was a joke! And then they reminded us of the Messenger DLC and, of course, Mi Amigo Peter. That's my friend Pedro in Spanish, for those of you out there.
Yeah, I get it.
I'd love to see my friend Pedro play my friend Pedro.
All aboard the hype train.
Well, we should really get that to be his M game during the alphabet check.
Yeah, that's gonna be on the Switch, so he's gonna. He
has no excuse.
Yeah,
He has no excuse. He has to play it. Yeah, and then they finished up the RoboCop sequence and ended it with a teaser that reminded me of the Terminator.
Yep, come with you want to live. I mean, nothing gets more Terminator than that.
Right. And then you had the pre-show right after that, which I watched some of that. I watched the interesting bits.
Yeah.
They had Kaiju Big Battle there, and they were playing Eagle Island for some reason, which
I did not. I did not watch the after the Revolver Digital stuff.
oh no, I
last
know.
year.
I mean, I did. Yeah, me neither. I didn't even think there was a pre-show last year, which is
Mhm.
kind of surprising. But there was one this year, and that's fine by me.
No, that's strange. I didn't expect that. I thought it was just Revolver Digital and that's it. You know.
Well, it seems like Devolver Digital helps run the pre-show because they showed off Ape Out on there, which, God, I knew I wanted that game, but just seeing it in action made me want it even more. It's like if you were playing Hotline Miami to a jazz soundtrack, but you're also a gorilla.
Yeah, yeah.
That-
I can see the appeal.
I know, right? The appeal,
Yeah.
good one.
I didn't realize it myself. Nice.
Sometimes people's subconsciouses are just pun geniuses, I'm afraid. So yeah, that concludes Sunday, which is technically the first day. Now we get into the point where things start to like choke us out, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
Choke the chicken.
And let's start with the PC gaming show.
Oh boy.
I did not watch that.
I got all my anger out on. I got all of my anger out on that one, but there were a few interesting games on there. But conspiracy theory time.
Oh boy.
So I noticed that a lot of the games on there were telling me that they were currently on Steam, but they also specifically asked us to put the games on our wish list on Steam. And considering the fact that Sergey Galyoikin, I believe his name is, the Steam spy, he works for Epic now as one of their feelers around for, like, games that are interesting. And I'm beginning to wonder, is it possible that we're being played now? Like, put us on your wish list so that Epic sees that we're popular, and then they'll give us a big old money sack. Big old money hat. I mean, it doesn't sound insane. It doesn't sound as insane to me when I say it out loud, but, you people are, you guys are, like...
The unwashed.
Yeah, I'd say that you're a neutral party. How insane does that sound to you? Like, scale of 1 to 10.
I mean, if Epic hired the guy and they have access to wish lists, I could see them going after them.
Okay, so you're saying not that crazy. KG?
I wouldn't put it past them, really.
Okay, so also not crazy. Psych?
I mean...
I could go either way.
Fair enough.
It's kind of like how Microsoft, sent out, someone that worked for them to be a CEO at Nokia kind of thing.
Right.
I felt like there was something else I was going to add to it, but I can't quite remember it at the moment. But, alright, I just find it weird to suggest to put it on your Steam wish list.
Right.
Like, no one asks you to put it on the wish list. By all means, if it was implied, if you wanted it, you would have put it on your wish list already without anyone telling you that.
Yeah, I've never seen this before, and then I see a whole bunch of games do it. That's what got the gears turning, honestly. That's what made me, think about this. Something about that just seemed really scummy to me, and I can't really articulate why.
It almost feels like we should deliberately do it to one of the games.
I mean, I did put one of the games that they said on my wish list.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, yeah, I did put one of the games that they showed off on there on my wish list. So if it gets if it gets taken away by Epic, then I guess we'll know.
Yeah, I know it would just be one game, but at the same time, it just it just makes you that much more short.
I mean, it would piss me off, but at the same time, I've got over 400 games on my wish list, so. And this one looked cool, but you know what? Might as well get like real proof here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got a catfish for it.
Exactly. We're testing this. Did anyone else in here watch the PC gaming show?
Of course not.
Okay.
No, no.
Yeah, then in that case, I don't think we have to really go that much further. I already got... I yelled about Shenmue earlier. The weird part about it was actually I was expecting way more games to be announced as Epic. I was honestly expecting the entire show to be nothing but Epic exclusives, but there were a fair amount of games that said we're coming to Steam or we like Steam, and yeah, I'm not sure. It boggles the mind that like the people at PC Gamer, we know that they're clearly collaborating with Epic Games. Like we know they PC gaming show powered by the Epic Games Store. It's obvious. At what point can you like? Is it possible to be so caught in a lie that you eventually have to like give it up?
No, not for these companies that actually have millions of dollars.
Fair enough. I'm just saying because it's like it just reminds me of that old Monty Python sketch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I don't know what to say. More to say about that. Just that, I guess well, Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney. I mean, it just reminds me of what Mitt Romney said. Corporations are people too, and it's not really true. Corporations just look out for your money.
Right. Right.
Yes.
It's weird because in a sense, there's people in there, and there's like individual people, but like, it's not like they're the specific ones who are advancing a goal. It's more like they're just trying to make ends meet, kind of way.
Right. I just find it really. Sorry. Go ahead.
And it just sort of, at the same time, kind of feels disingenuous to go corporations of people too, when it's mainly the will of people, of like a CEO and like some people who technically don't actually do work. They're just stockholders.
Right. I don't understand. Like, I would respect them a little bit more if they would just tell the truth about these things, though.
Right. Oh man, and we're getting close to the Nintendo stuff.
Yeah, well, we're not quite there yet, buddy. Buckle up. We've still got... Did anyone else watch Limited Run?
No,
I
did not. I forgot that was a thing, but honestly.
Bunch of indie games on physical disc now. Goodbye. I guess they also are bringing Corpse Killer to PS4 and Steam, which that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And also they're doing a bunch of Star Wars re-releases, but I'm not quite sure how that works. The only one that they were able to really announce was Star Wars Bounty Hunter on PS4, so I'm not sure.
I honestly thought it was like a collection, but then I saw the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking it was a collection too, but then it didn't end up being that. It ended up just being. I guess are they going to make like NES cartridges and Game Boy cartridges for some of these games?
That'd be really neat in a way.
That would be neat, but I mean, it's like...
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that brings us to, I guess Ubisoft would be next. Who watched Ubisoft?
No, you already know I did not.
I think I was during my work hours. I know it's a terrible excuse because I watched the Nintendo one during my work hours, but
Nintendo one is like a third the length of the others.
Yeah, it was only like 40 minutes, so...
And I actually got a lot of work done during those 2 hours of waiting.
I watched
and then
Nintendo one during
significantly, but I was mostly done already. Anyway,
I watched the Nintendo one during traffic.
Fair enough. Ubisoft. Watch Dogs Legion is like the most faux woke game I've ever seen, but it like makes so many weird mistakes that I'm wondering if it's a troll.
Well, to clarify, this is the company who constantly goes, we are...
We don't do anything political, but hear me out here. So, basically,
I thought-
the setting... Go ahead.
I thought he was gonna say, basically go, we are farmers. Dun, 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 dun.
So it takes place in like a post-Brexit dystopian United Kingdom, right?
Right.
Sure.
But you literally play as NPCs.
I feel like we should not get into it.
No. I'm not trying to get into the but like, just like I know that you and I are probably on like two opposite sides of the political spectrum, but you have to admit that was the dumbest thing that they could have possibly have. I believe that a marketing slogan was "God save the NPCs."
Like,
Yikes.
I actually didn't pay attention to that
I
part.
faced-
That's
I
true.
faced-
It sounds like they just picked buzzwords at random.
No, but that's what I'm saying though.
That's
it's
even
like
worse.
that's what I'm
That's even
saying though.
worse.
It's stupid, but it's like incredibly. They did.
Oh, yeah, I'm not saying it wasn't stupid.
No. But what I'm saying is that it's like so dumb that it not only swings back around to being smart, but it swings so far back that it gets even stupider. It's double stupid. It goes beyond normal human stupidity. I don't know what they were going for. I'm just saying that, like, that's all I want to say. I don't understand what their end game was on that.
I'm pretty sure we're just supposed to focus on the dog they brought out.
That was a good dog. That was the best part of that entire conference. I will give you that. That sad dog. People identify with that sad-looking dog. And then they announced like 5 billion Tom Clancy games. I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
Just Dance 2020 is coming to Wii and Stadia.
I don't want to know what.
I don't know why it's coming to Stadia, but okay.
I still don't know why it's coming to Wii even.
Well,
Someone must still be buying it. I mean, they're
Actually,
100.
when I moved to Texas, we went to like a thrift store and we left and we saw a lady and her boyfriend bringing out a Wii console. So I guess there's still an audience.
No, what I find most baffling about it is that the Wii has officially now outlived the Wii U.
Yikes.
I know, right?
I know. Like the Wii U version doesn't even get one. It's like, it's not like anyone has that.
I think the last time that happened was like back during Atari, where like the Atari 2600 outlived the Atari 5200 or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing though, right? Let's see. Then Ubisoft also announced that they invented roller derby, with a free-to-play PC game, which is about co-ed roller derby. I believe they called it Roller League. I don't really care. And then they announced they announced their own what would you call it? It's like Game Pass or Origin Access, one of those things.
Yeah.
$15 a month for Ubisoft games, and I'm just like, yeah, but like Microsoft's charging us $5 a month for a whole bunch of games. That's stupid. Why would I pay $15 for this? I mean, it's kind of cool if you're really into, if all you play is Ubisoft games, it'd be a good deal.
I'm not even sure about that. How many games they release a year? Because 15 a month is 180 a year.
Yeah, but you'd get all the old ones too.
Oh yeah, the old ones are like $5 each.
Mm. Yeah, but you also get all the DLC too. So, I mean, that would probably that'd be like 1.5 games then, right?
Yeah.
$180 a year,
Right.
that'd be 1.5 games with all the DLC.
No, with all the DLC, that'd be like 2.5 games.
Maybe. And then they showed off Gods and Monsters, which is made by the Assassin's Creed Odyssey team, and
I've been hearing some good things about that, but since it's just another CG trailer. I don't know.
It didn't really grab me, but I can understand why people were excited about it.
Hmm.
I just think what's more baffling is what was missing from the Ubisoft thing. Just
Mm.
like I said, I was talking about Beyond Good and Evil 2 earlier,
Yeah.
but then you've also got like God, what else was missing there? They were talking about TV shows, and they were talking about they made a TV show with Mac from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That was the other exciting part about the whole thing. Mac from It's Always Sunny was there, and he's in a show that they're making. Which, why are they making a show? Why are they making a TV show? Hello? Did I fall out?
No.
Did I bore you guys to death?
Honestly, no. It's
Yes.
just it's really hot over here.
Oh, I don't
My
blame
room
you.
is
Yeah,
just
it's hot here too.
I can
Yeah, my
understand
room
that.
is
I'm
a-
surprisingly cool.
shut up. Anyway, it's like a little sauna in here. So not in a good way.
All right, they also announced a movie based on The Division for some reason.
No, well, fuck. Sorry. It's
And
just I don't really see the appeal of the Division. It's so generic.
Yeah,
to
I
me.
agree with you. Don't worry, Psych. We've only got one more thing that I'm going to talk about before we can get to the
One
part where
more
you can
thing.
where you can one more thing before you can shall we say blow your load. How does that sound?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, kind of funny games. They showed off a whole bunch of indie shit again. A lot of them look cool. I actually added some of them to my Steam wish list, which is what they want you to do.
Wink, wink.
Wink.
Which one was that finger shooter? It was
Oh
like-
God, what was that called?
It was like
I know which one you're talking
Freedom
about. It
Finger.
had Freedom Finger. It had like John DiMaggio and Nolan North in it.
yeah, and it had like all these games. I was like, you know what? I
This
like
isn't
that
really an
energy.
indie game if it has so many celebrities in it. that I
Yeah, but it
recognize.
has a nice energy to it.
Oh yeah, no, I if I were more into side-scrolling shmups like that, that'd probably be on my radar. But I'm
Totally.
not, so it's not. Sorry.
That's basically my case.
God, what else was there? They had Brave Earth Prologue, which was basically a Castlevania knockoff made by the guy who made I Want to Be the Guy.
What?
Yeah, no, I'm serious.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a game called I Want to Be the Guy?
You never heard of I Want to Be the Guy?
That's really mimetic.
Yeah.
No,
It was
Wait, are you
I'm-
are you kidding or are you serious?
I didn't know. I didn't
Really?
know.
No, it's
Yeah.
it was an intentionally cheap and frustrating platformer that was PC only and free only because it didn't give a shit about copyright. Like, have you ever heard this quote? Here, it's dangerous to go alone. Take this. You jumped into a sword, you retard. Like, have you heard that quote?
Oh, yeah, I distinctly remember that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
okay,
from
okay,
I Want to
I
Be
get
the
that.
Guy. If you if you jump into the sword from Zelda 1, it kills you.
Right. So he's making a Castlevania-looking game called Brave Earth Prologue, which looks kind of good. Doesn't look as cheap as his other game, which is surprising. Like, when I say cheap, I mean like
Not like price wise.
yeah, not like price-wise. I mean like fucking annoying.
Kmart brand cereal.
Rename looked interesting. That's like a hop and bop game.
Top and pop.
Hop and bop. I like calling them hop and bops. We need to bring that term back. Hop and bop.
It's better than Borderlands bringing back Schluter.
Oh, I thought they were called looter shooters.
Oh shit,
Yeah,
Borderlands.
but
Yeah,
then it said,
Borderlands.
Schluter?
Schluter. I would never. That sounds like. That sounds like a medical. That sounds like something a woman would use as a euphemism for like a vagina surgery. A schluter.
I can show you the world.
But yeah, they just showed off a whole bunch of awesome looking indie games. So yeah,
That's pretty cool. Okay, I didn't watch that.
I like Kind of Funny. They did something like this last year too, and
Yeah.
yeah, I hope they come back again next year. I like them. I like them a lot. So with that being said, here come the fireworks. We are at Square Enix, and this one
Guys.
I know that. Go ahead.
Can I just get a quick vent out of the way before Psych goes off?
Go for it, man.
Where the hell was Babylon's Fall? That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII Remake tricked me into caring about the game.
It looked really good.
It did.
I
I like how I like how supposedly fans are angry about Barrett's voice. No, they aren't. No one is angry about this. I loved it.
You're a big fan, huh?
I mean, of course. I mean, you know, I have to be. They hired me to play the role, obviously.
I mean, did anyone not imagine him sounding like Mr. T?
I can't imagine what else he would have sounded like. I would have to ask Daria. So, Daria, what do you think a big black guy would sound like? Well, he'd sound kind of like this. He'd sound kind of like neurotic and small and nerdy. He'd sound kind of like... Daria's like, I always pictured him sounding like Woody Allen.
Oh!
Could you imagine?
Oh my God! Are you kidding me?
Could you imagine, though? Could you imagine Dari believing that Barrett was supposed to sound like Mr. T, like fucking Woody Allen instead of Mr. T?
Fucking Woody Allen.
Fucking Woody Allen.
Jesus Christ.
Jeez, Cloud,
Hey.
you're making me feel kind of nervous here with my gun hand. I've got such a cramp in my minigun over here. Oh.
You caught me off guard with that Woody Allen shit. That's pretty good.
Thank you. I try.
Applaud you.
Yes.
The Final Fantasy VII remake looks... It just surprised me. I didn't expect it to be like that at all. I didn't expect it to be a combination of the old game and mechanics of Kingdom Hearts.
I mean, the thing is that the game looked more interesting to me than any gameplay I've ever seen in a Kingdom Hearts game.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, no, I know. I mean, not only is it a combination of that, it's just, it advances. It takes all the good parts and just, not just advances, but I would say it goes leagues beyond that. It goes way beyond what I thought imaginable.
Yeah, because kind of disappointed Kingdom Hearts 3 didn't evolve more because Ease in the Air really raised the bar for action RPG combat, and Final Fantasy VII Remake looked closer to that.
Right, which is good.
It just pushed the envelope, and that's something that I just did not see coming at all. I thought it was just going to be like, oh, hey, it's going to be Kingdom Hearts, but, with Final Fantasy characters.
Mm-hmm.
But not at all. Not at all.
Right.
Not at all. Do you have anything to say about it, KG?
No, not too much. It's just like, I don't know. Again, not too big on break mechanics in general. I don't know. I think part of it though is just because it's like it just went faster in the original game, and that's like 15 frames per second. And it's like here you have this starter boss where it takes a while to actually get it finished. It's much more dynamic and whatnot, and that's what is very impressive to look at compared to Kingdom Hearts, as you guys mentioned. I actually didn't hear most of your arguments. I went to the bathroom, but I think I got the gist of it. But yeah, I'm just like, they have these mechanics like pretty often, both in their action games and their turn-based games. And I'm like, I wonder why specifically they fell in love with them. I'm not sure what it is.
Which mechanics do you mean?
Break mechanics.
I mean, I can kind of understand. I guess if they balanced it differently, it would feel more like a reward for doing a good job. I mean, basically what I feel like they should do to evolve the break mechanic, as you refer to it. I've never actually heard that terminology before, but I can't think of anything better, so fair enough. What would honestly make it better, in my opinion, would be if, like... So, you do damage to it, the stun meter increases, right?
Right.
Well, basically do what you do in a fighting game, where, like, if you stop hitting it for some time, it slowly goes back down, or if it hits you, it goes down, like, a lot, like, significantly more.
Mm-hmm.
So so that way the stun also becomes a reward for doing a good job. How would you feel about that?
Sounds about all right.
So you'd
I
be
mean-
fine with that, basically. You would find that to be more balanced then?
Mm.
Okay, that's fair.
I just think it needs more balance for the most part. For some reason, I actually started thinking of Monster Hunter in a way.
Which one?
It doesn't matter.
To all
Shut
of them.
up.
None of them. Frontier
where it's-
Online.
Right. No. Except that one. Okay. Where it's like, you have, like, monsters have, like, stagger limits, where if you hit that, it basically staggers them and whatnot, and it also lets you follow up with different moves that take longer to execute but are also more powerful. And it's generally very rewarding, especially since, a monster of that size is reacting to your blows, and the stronger you are and the more skilled you are, the more regularly you can exploit their staggers and whatnot.
Right.
And that's generally one of the things that I find really pleasing in Monster Hunter. But
Okay, that seems fair.
yeah. And of course, it's not aiming to be Monster Hunter. I don't have a problem with that. But I guess the other part is that, like, technically you're still doing the same amount of damage per hit, but it's just you can't get off more powerful moves because they take too long. And so you rely on either staggering them, or if you really know the ins and outs, you can just position yourself to do what you need to do.
Right.
But yeah, break mechanics. Anyway, what's next?
Well,
Tifa!
yeah, we finally got to see Tifa.
Hooray.
Her tits weren't
I
as
don't-
big as her head, but a lot of people have actually gone super hardcore into, examining it, and from what I've heard, the accepted figure is that she's a C cup, which, that's not like super huge, but bigger than average, so that's fine.
Right. Like, I think one of the things, though, is that it really feels like she's a character where we were more used to, like, the fan art and dojins and stuff.
Right, that is true.
And I think that's part of that influence as well. And so we have Tifa here, where it may look like she's smaller, but it doesn't necessarily look like that. It's just mainly the models and the FMVs were more exaggerated than the game model itself.
Right.
But yeah, I have no idea why I was excited about seeing Tifa. I don't have that much of a connection with Final Fantasy VII in general.
I think the
but I
reason
think
that
it was-
Sorry, go ahead.
But I think part of it might have been the fact that we haven't seen Tifa in the remake since it's been announced even.
What?
Well, actually, she wasn't in the announcement. I need to correct that. But it's been about 5 years since it's been announced.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like we've only seen Cloud and Barrett for like those years. So it's like, okay, we get Aerith. I don't think people care as much, except for Japanese fans who hated that her face was too long, apparently. Which I wouldn't have noticed if you didn't complain about it. And I didn't really care. But then I'm like, oh, where's Tifa? And you're like, where's Lightning? Or where's Poochie? Where's Tifa? I need to see her. Like, I want to see what they do. And it's like, oh, they stayed true to her design for the most part, which I guess isn't really that surprising. But I guess, the hype behind seeing Tifa was a big influence on that part.
Right. But, I mean, I think the reason that we were all excited to see Tifa is that I feel like Tifa would have... Well... Okay, I mean, you're right, but, like, in all reality, I feel like Tifa would have been the one that would have been changed the most just based on her original design. It's actually sort of weird. It reminds me of how, like... There was a small outrage about CTR Nitro Fueled because they took the trophy girls out.
Yeah.
Which
and they're like, oh.
They were very horrifying to begin with, so I didn't really have a dog in that fight. But then, it turns out they're going to be post-launch content as playable characters now. So I don't know... I don't know how to respond to that. I don't know how to... Okay.
They're hypocrites.
How's that a hypocrite?
Oh, I mean, well, not hypocrites. What was I gonna say?
I'm not sure, but it's just like, I don't... Like, I guess it's an attempt at keeping them in the game, but also giving them more agency, but at the same time...
Why did they take them off in the first place, though?
I mean, I agree with that, but, well, I think that the reason that they took them off is because, there has been some backlash over... God, I forget what they call them in America, but I think they're called, like, race girls in Japan.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, which is weird because then they just get fired. They don't get, like, better roles. They just get fired. So that seems kind of counterintuitive to me, but whatever. I don't know. I don't know jack shit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've gone really off topic. But yeah, the reason that we all cared about Tifa was because if anything was going to get super changed, it was going to be her.
And then it turns out not much really.
I mean, they changed.
It kind
her,
of felt like a. It felt
like an update more than a change, really.
Yeah, it sort of kind of felt a bit like a mixture between. Well, a slight mixture between her advent children and her normal one.
Right.
But mainly just to give her some shorts, especially since she originally wore a skirt. So if we're playing an action game, they don't want you to see up there.
Right. Which, I mean, that's understandable. I mean, especially since you can actually, like, really play as the other team member. That's actually the big thing that makes me excited for that game, is that you get to play as, like, other characters now.
Yeah.
I mean, they showed that even in the, like 2016 gameplay.
No, I get 2015, wasn't it?
No, I think the last time they showed it before the giant hiatus was 2016.
Okay, fair enough. But, I mean, it's like, it's nice to have the confirmation, because in Kingdom Hearts, you usually are just stuck with Sora, right?
Yeah.
And you sort of, like, control the others by proxy. But in this game, you can literally just, like, switch to Barrett, so I never have to play as Cloud, basically. Unless he's the only person on screen. I can always be playing as Yuffie and Barrett and Red 13 and Kate Sith. But not Aerith. Fuck that
Kate
shit.
Sith.
Sorry, Aerith. They fixed that translation, didn't they?
Yeah.
Also, what was his name? The guy with the skeleton hand-looking glove or some shit?
Oh, Vincent, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Vincent.
Yeah.
You could play as Vincent. You could play as Sid, was it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They better keep the line. I mean, I don't think it would be in mid. It wasn't in Midgar, but they better keep the line. Sit down and drink your goddamn tea.
I feel like that's got to be like a you spoony Bart thing where they couldn't get rid of it, even if they wanted to. So yeah, that was that. And then they announced. Then they were talking about a whole other bunch of shit, which I think the most surprising thing they announced was the Final Fantasy VIII Remaster, which is being handled by my good friends over at .emu, which is hilarious.
Really?
Yeah, no, they're doing it. They announced it today.
Oh, that is surprising, actually.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I didn't expect that. Yeah, that's out of left field.
I know, right? It's surprising. But, hey, what are you going to do? Dragon Quest XI Switch is still happening.
Yep.
We already knew that.
Happening.
Yep.
God, what else did they announce? Oh, yeah, Outriders. You thought the Gears of War thing was boring? It's like, Outriders was 10 times worse.
Yeah, I don't even know what that was about, man.
It was boring.
Yeah, I mean, of course it was boring, but at least I could tell with Gears, it's about US generic-looking soldiers fighting a bunch of monster
Giant
aliens.
insect aliens.
Yeah, and I don't know what this one's about. It's probably the same thing, or I don't know.
It was stupid, basically. It was really, really dumb. Really dumb. Just a waste of time. It baffles me because... Okay, so this year Sony was gone, and last year Sony basically took the only thing that could have gotten Square Enix any thunder, right? Out of when they were doing like their direct last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They stole the only thunder they really could have had there. No offense, KI. I know that Babylon's fall was a big thing, but like, you have to admit
He's
that
not here
like,
at the moment.
what is he gone?
Yeah,
Oh, shit. Well, good then. He doesn't have to hear me like accidentally slag off Babylon's Fall then.
Right. Well, hurry up then.
Okay. Well, I already did. So, but like,
Oh, okay.
Kingdom Hearts 3 was clearly the big Square Enix announcement last year. Well,
Apparently,
let's-
yeah. They even like had 3 trailers of it.
Exactly.
Last
But
year.
that's the thing though. Like, Xbox got its own trailer for it. Sony got its
Yep.
own trailer for it.
Yep.
But
yep.
Square Enix just showed the Microsoft one again. It wasn't even extended. It was the same I think it might have been shorter than the Microsoft one. How does that happen? How did that happen? You used the same fucking trailer. You had 3 trailers. Why didn't you just use the trailer that you didn't give anyone else?
Because my life is a pain in the ass.
My gym partner is a monkey.
Well, my gym partner's a Dari, so... So, Psych, how do you feel about the Remind DLC? For Kingdom Hearts 3.
He just needed you to remind him about it.
Yeah.
Shit, dude, I don't know, but I mean, if it expands, listen, I haven't played Kingdom Hearts 3. I don't have a PS4 or an Xbox One, but
Okay.
I more or less know what happens in the game, and there's still some unsolved mysteries like Tetsuya Nomura always likes to do.
Right. Although the biggest mystery of all with Tetsuya Nomura is why did he steal my look at E3 last night?
Oh yeah,
He was wearing t-shirts and gym shorts. That's a signature Icepick look. I feel kind of offended. He was culturally appropriating me. he was stealing my cult. This is not a costume. This is my culture, and I want to sue for damages.
Jeez.
Nah, I'm kidding. But it was kind of.
I mean,
like I was expecting, like when I saw Nomura come up to the stage, I was just expecting more zippers and belts, I guess.
More zippers and belts. Yeah.
Like an entire outfit made out of just nothing but
Yeah.
zippers and belts.
I don't have any strong opinions on Remind. It's just another DLC that's coming out.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's coming out this holiday or I don't know.
Right.
When is it coming out?
I think it's coming out. Like I don't know when it's coming out. I think it might be coming out 2020 actually.
Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't matter.
Let's see. What else was there before we get to? I just want to get everything else out of the way before we hand the floor
cream
over
pie
to...
of like, resistance.
Yes. I do not plan on resisting
Okay,
the rant
I
that
remember.
Psych does... Okay, go for it.
Final Fantasy finally got remastered.
I already said that!
Oh, you did?
Yes, I told you about .emu working on it, remember?
I know, but I thought that was in a different part.
No, that was for Final Fantasy
Okay,
VIII Remastered.
Alright, so you said Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah. What else was there, though? That's what I'm wondering.
I'm pretty sure you also said Crystal Chronicles.
Oh no, I didn't say that one. Thank you. That's a good one. Yeah, Crystal Chronicles is getting a remaster on everything, on PS4, Switch, and phones.
Yeah. Not Windows phones.
Not Windows phones, but the
or,
other two.
or the Microsoft Xbox even.
Or the Microsoft, or just PC in general, which is surprising to me.
Yeah.
But you know, whatever. That's fine. Don't really care.
They also released the last remnant remastered last night after their press conference, which was a surprise. Both the fact that it happened and its price tag.
I mean, I'm still kind of like a little bit angry over the fact that the game was still on PC, and then they took it off to remaster it, and then the remaster's on everything but PC.
You know.
Like, it's not even like a case of, oh man, I want that remaster. It's like, just leave the... Why did you take the original? What could you have possibly gained from taking it off a platform? What did you gain from that? How did that benefit you? I'll have to hold on to that one until we get to that part, but...
Yep.
No, I just saw something online that's unrelated to what we're talking about, and I'm just like, I'll have to remember that, you know?
Have you guys tried the Pizzone? It's actually not that bad.
I
that
did
for
have a
Pizzone?
Pizzone once, but it was like years ago. I think it was like not the first time they had it, but like the second time they had it.
Okay. They have it now.
That's like a calzone, basically. It's
Yeah, but it's like, they name it Pizzone for some
right
reason.
because it's from Pizza Hut, right?
Yeah, I mean, but still, it's still like a weird reason. Pizza Hut, I mean... I don't know. It's
Oh
a
no,
weird
I
reason
get
to
you,
name it
man.
Pizzone.
I get you. It's
Yeah.
weird, but okay, hold on. I think I might finally be going to like what I need to be at.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, I just want to make sure that we cover everything, and then I will be giving you the floor after that, because, I mean, you deserve, you
Let's
deserve
see,
to say
did-
your, sorry, go ahead.
Did you cover Oninaki?
We did not cover Oninaki, thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, KG hates that game. Dragon Quest Builders 2 is still happening. KG likes that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he is.
Romancing Saga 3 and Saga Scarlet Grace Ambitions are games.
Mobile.
They're coming.
Yep.
Mhm.
Circuit Superstars. KI thought it was Rad Racer for a second, but you had to know that they weren't going to like bring that back, right?
Yeah.
What a shame. Okay, and that appears to be everything, so I'm going to give the floor to our good friend Psych, who has one last thing he wants to talk about before we move on.
Yeah, the last thing that Square Enix showed was the long-anticipated game they were working on with Crystal Dynamics. Marvel's Avengers A-Day.
No,
That's
it was
what- I don't
5
know if
years
that's-
after A-Day.
Well, I think the title is Marvel's Avengers A-Day. I don't know. It means, anybody can look that up and correct me. I'd be happy to.
Let me look it up, actually. Marvel.
I'd be happy to know if I was wrong, because it's the stupidest title I've ever heard. A-Day. Avengers A-Day.
Everyone just calls it Marvel Avengers for some reason, so I'm not sure. No one can tell.
And it's still stupid because it capitalizes on a movie that's right now currently 7 years old and is a very poor movie on rewatch. And God damn it, it's just a fucking it's aping the MCU style. And how people can be excited for this is beyond me. I don't understand. I'm so tired of these MCU inspired costume designs because it's MCU inspired. No, everybody keeps saying that. Everybody keeps saying that Crystal Dynamics is going with their own thing. Even Crystal Dynamics themselves have said we're going with our own vision, and it's clearly bullshit. Pure bullshit. They're lying to themselves and their paid interns at their conference floor. I mean, they even said, I don't know if you remember, but when they said games as a service out loud, everybody was cheering on like idiots. Like, yeah, yeah, I'll stroke my dick this some more. I love the Avengers. It's honestly just so baffling to me. My God, I absolutely abhor the MCU style now. It's trying to capitalize upon it is, oh my God, it just confounds me. It's the most boring style you could ape. And not to mention that the game looks ugly. The facial animations look ugly as hell. No, and you get some generic ass voice actors that have little to no range at this point. I mean, why hire them? Like, you could tell in the initial reveal trailer, Nolan North is voicing Tony Stark. I mean, not Nolan North. Was Nolan North? Yeah, Nolan North is voicing.
It was Nolan North.
Nolan North. Yeah, it's him.
Yes, I saw your response to his tweet about that, actually.
Yeah, I am Iron Man. Come on. Fuck off. Come on. Shut up. Just shut up. Just shut up. Just put your head up your ass some more, please. I want to see you do it. I want to see you just implode. Just go into oblivion upon your ass.
Man, you're really mad at Nolan North about voicing Iron Man in this.
No, it's just the arrogance and the and the ego.
Like, out of curiosity, what would you have wanted them to do with the Avengers game?
Make it like, I thought maybe they go truly with their own style and not just, have clearly inspired MCU lookalikes, stunt doubles.
Yeah,
like
they did.
like
that
in
was
Spaceball.
Yeah, exactly. You idiots! You caught their stunt doubles.
Stunt doubles.
But I mean, I can understand what you're saying there, but like, was it simply the fact that the look was inspired by the MCU that, got you so bent out of shape, or does the roster also bother you?
Yes, everything bothers me about it. From the title to the story to the voice acting to the lies to the exclusive content and to the excitement fans have for this game. Every single little bit is just really insulting. That I don't know why nobody likes having some kind of variety. I mean, look at Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Yeah,
that game doesn't look amazingly graphic-wise, but it has a roster that puts Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite to shame. I mean, no offense if you like the roster from that game. It's
I don't think anyone liked the roster from that game.
It pales in comparison. It has X-Men characters. Soon it's going to have Fantastic Four, Marvel Knights, more X-Men characters all on the way, and the fact that we're just getting the base roster in this in a AAA game that looks like it might play like Anthem.
It kind of looked like, graphically, I mean, it looked like a game that came from like the beginning of the generation, didn't it?
I mean,
like
sure.
when they were like trying to like when they try to go more photorealistic in order to like showcase how strong the system is, but at the same time it doesn't look right. Like, it's supposed to be impressive, but like when the system first comes out, it looks impressive. Then you look at it like 2 years down the line, and you're like, "Yeesh, we thought that looked good."
And now their Crystal Dynamics is apparently they heard the criticism and they're going to change it. And I don't know how long that's going to take.
I feel like course correction. Course correction is a little late on that one.
Yeah, at this point, I'm pretty sure they wanted to show. They wanted to show 30% of the game that cannot be remade, or not 30%, maybe 50%, maybe 50%.
I mean, I think the issue is that Crystal Dynamics. I wouldn't even really consider. I wouldn't consider the modern Crystal Dynamics to even be Eidos's A team.
I mean, what was the last game they made?
You know what? Let me look up what Crystal Dynamics worked on before this. Let's see. Crystal Dynamics Wikipedia. Here we go. Okay, here we go. List of video games. Okay. Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Hmm.
I don't think they were the main. That
Hold on a
was. Doesn't sound right.
second.
Oh, Rise.
Yeah. What did you think I said?
I was thinking of Shadow.
Okay, they also did Lara Croft Relic Run, Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris. They did the original Tomb Raider reboot. Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light, Tomb Raider Underworld, Tomb Raider Anniversary, Tomb Raider Legend, Project Snowblind, Whiplash, Legacy of Kain. Yeah, they.
Wish they would have just made another Tomb Raider game. You need a third game that plays like Temple of Light / Temple or Guardian of Light / Temple of Osiris.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like giving a franchise like this to Crystal Dynamics probably wasn't a good idea.
I mean, barring it was a good idea or not, the execution is clearly uninspired, boring, stunt double trash. There's some people saying that they are. I mean, subjectiveness aside, there are some people that are looking forward to this game more than they are Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. And while, opinions and all that, I can't see anything that remotely looks exciting from Anthem Avengers. I'm pretty sure the gameplay is nice. It looks pretty, but in the end of the day, it's just gonna be
Forgettable
for all the reasons I'm talking about.
So let me see if I can postulate from this. Are you worried about this game because of the rumors that were going about that said that, Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man from Insomniac Games, was it?
Oh, that it's connected and stuff? Nah, I'm not worried about that. If it's
Okay, no,
connected,
I was just going to ask if you were worried that this could possibly have further further reverberations if the whole rumor about a connected Marvel gaming universe comes to fruition.
let me just say, fortunately, Insomniac has its paws all over Spider-Man that it can't. Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix can't possibly do anything to take that.
I mean, on the plus side, now that Disney owns Fox, I think we're going to see the X-Men come back in a pretty big way, but I'm not sure how that's going to happen. I know it's going to happen, but I'm not sure how. So, I mean, that's all I can really say to you, because were you the one who was really pissed off about the Inhumans, or was that someone else? Because I remember one guy got, really angry at them.
I'm not a fan of them, but I wouldn't say I would be pissed off.
Sorry to go off topic, but do you think that Kamala Khan is going to just get retconned into a mutant?
No, no, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Nah. I really think that since they're strongly pushing the Captain Marvel a lot, I really think that they're gonna try to connect Kamala Khan to Carol Danvers in a way.
So she's gonna be Kree then.
Yeah, it might be related to, might be related to the cosmic cube energy or whatever, but
Okay.
she's not going to be retconned into a mutant or anything.
Okay, fair enough, because I remember that was like the going theory that if, Marvel ever decided to like stop fucking with the mutants, that would be like, she would basically be the one thing they'd salvage out of the Inhumans experiment.
Mm-hmm.
And, then they just say, oh, she was a mutant all along. She has the X gene.
Yeah, well, one of the amusing parts of fans just analyzing the trailer is that the voice narrating over the Avengers trailer was Kamala Khan, and there is obviously no evidence supporting that notion.
I thought that was supposed to be Black Widow.
I have no idea. I mean, it's clearly a different voice.
That's what I assumed, but I guess not. But okay.
I mean, I don't think it's Laura. It's Laura Bailey at all.
Could have been.
It didn't sound like her. But
maybe not. Well, either way, I guess I kind of assumed because it seemed like she was like talking about the Avengers, sort of like in the first person, because she would have been a member. And that's what the narrator sort of sounded like she was talking about them as if, she was one of the Avengers, so the only female one there was Black Widow, so...
yeah. No, I just... everything about this game just is really just awful. Hold on. It's not... It hates the MCU style, even though Crystal Dynamics claims otherwise. Bill Roseman claims otherwise. Specifically, he's the one who said it. I retract my statement about Crystal Dynamics, saying that Bill Roseman, head of Marvel Games. He's the one who said that Crystal Dynamics was going to have their own vision, have their own timeline, and it looks like it's not that. It's clearly not that way. If you think that you are blind as a bat. Not you guys. You in general, like anybody.
Oh yeah, you just mean that anyone that believes that it is not clearly inspired by the MCU.
Yeah, clearly inspired by the boring ass MCU style, the aesthetic, the clothes, the mannerisms, and it's just one big MCU cash grab. It's capitalizing on a movie that came out years ago, and since it failed to capitalize on time, well, I don't know if they were actually planning to make a game back then, but apparently they're capitalizing on it either way. Just the mere fact that it's called Avengers, and they're using a cast on the base roster minus Hawkeye, of course.
Poor Hawkeye.
It's just
it's funny because they literally just announced him for Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Yeah.
that is kind of ironic.
That's
a good
true.
point.
Yeah, and it's gonna play like Anthem, and it's gonna have exclusive content for the PS4, which is not a very good thing at this point in time.
Probably gonna be a PS4 Spider-Man costume.
Oh my god, don't fucking say that. It just pisses me off.
Could you imagine though? Like, if that's what ends up happening, can you promise me that you won't kill me for saying that?
Jesus Christ. No, I just say that I'll just think that my life sucks and just keep moving on. And I'll still rant about the game. I'll still rant about it. I won't kill you.
Okay.
I'll still just whine and complain.
Okay, well, I mean, that's fair, though. I mean, this was something you were looking forward to, and it...
No, the thing is that I was not looking forward to this game because I kind of knew that maybe it would be MCU inspired. And that was a big fear of mine. And the fact that it's Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix and Eidos just proved me right it's nothing short of hysterical and disheartening. That's all I have to say about that, though. That's all I have to say. The Square Enix conference, I give it like a 6 out of 10, Final Fantasy was the highlight, and they blew their wad on their last segment of the conference on a big nothing game.
If it makes you feel any better, it seems like you're not the only one who was really disappointed by this.
Yeah, and I'm happy that that's the case.
Mhm.
But there are naysayers that just want to say that they can't help but compare it to Marvel to Alliance 3, and considering that you can't even compare them, they have a bigger roster, solid gameplay that has existed ever since X-Men Legends, that everybody likes. You just can't compare. For it's also going to be offline and online co-op. You just can't compare that kind of game to a very bourgeois AAA game that's probably just going to be forgettable tripe.
I feel like bourgeois isn't the right word for it, but yeah, I have to
No, I
admit,
think it is. I think it is. I think it is. Yeah. No, I think it
I
is.
was gonna just say cookie cutter, honestly. It's safe, it's bland, it's generic. Bourgeois.
I say bourgeois because it's it's a AAA game they invested so much money into this crap.
Okay, in that case, I kind of see your point then.
It's more style over substance, Like, oh hey, this looks good, but underneath, but peel all the layers, and you get a whole bunch of fluff that ultimately amounts to nothing. That's all. I mean, that's all. Screw the Avengers game. Screw the MCU. I'm sorry, I'm just not a fan of it anymore. This was the final nail in the coffin. I'm not excited for the MCU anymore. I don't care where it goes. I don't. It's over. I mean, I want to read my comics. I want comic-inspired video games, no matter how. I mean, even though they may be subpar or mediocre, I still want those kinds of games over MCU fare. That's it. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
I have one more thing I also have to say about the Square conference that needed to be saved for the end.
Okay.
I was so pissed off at how they ended it, where they made it look like they were going to do one more big reveal, then it was the fucking copyright screen.
That was a dick move on their part.
Yeah.
That was actually pretty bad.
Yeah, I think it's because, considering how it's used, it felt really bad, and it was just like, oh, hey, there's Ant-Man for a free-to-play a game that's totally not a gacha game. Which reminds me, I'm kind of surprised we didn't hear anything about Pokemon Masters.
Well, just you wait.
Oh well.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, that's
okay. Well, I guess with all that done, I guess we can finally move on to some positivity that happened today.
Most of it, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one bit that I'm gonna kind of rearrange for a bit, and we'll put it at the end because this is my pet peeve, but it's for Pokemon.
Okay, go for it.
No.
Oh.
We're waiting on the Pokemon part.
Oh, you want to wait? Okay, fair
Yeah,
enough.
because it's a spiel.
So yeah, we had the Nintendo Direct today.
Mm-hmm.
We started off with the next Smash DLC character, which ended up being the hero. Who was Eldrick, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think anyone really cared that much about it.
Because fuck 'em.
Well, no one in here cared about it.
I do.
Well, okay, KG cared about it.
I was like, yeah, okay, you guys can have your banjo now. Like, I was too busy hyping up for finally seeing Mr. the Hero.
I was surprised. Actually, I kind of like the way that they handled it. So they used the ones from 11, 1, 7, or 8?
11, 8, 3, and 1.
Fair
Those
enough,
are the
then.
Yeah. Wait, I got that wrong. It was 3, 4, 8, and 11.
Okay, well, fair enough then. Either way, that was cool. Like, I was like, ha ha ha, they were wrong about this. And I'm like, oh shit, he was an alternate costume all along.
And then it's like, well, in a sense, they were wrong because, like, while Erdrick was mentioned, it also used ones like Anne Lucia from 10 and one other person.
Right.
And Lucia's not there. They
Ah.
just used it and whatnot. And so, like, the Dragon Quest V protag is referenced in one of the characters' costumes. I believe it was Erdrick's design that they used it for. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
A bit disappointed that Sophia wasn't one of them. Since I could deal with Goldrick not being there. She looks very similar, but Sophia has some wild ass 90s hair that I would have loved to see in 3D. But I wonder if it could be more of a costume thing in her case, since she's wearing a leotard basically.
Right. So after that, we saw, you know, we saw another Dragon Quest XI-S trailer,
which covered a bit more.
I mean, it did cover. Again, this is what baffles me. Why does Square Enix use old trailers in their own presentations and not, like, do new?
Mm-hmm.
You do new stuff. Do the new stuff. Do the fucking new stuff. It's your shit. Do the fucking new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Were the mana announcements right after that? I feel like they were.
I don't remember the exact order.
I don't remember we don't have to do it in the exact order.
Yeah. I mean, Trials of Mana, the remake, looked pretty good. As far as I can tell, it doesn't have that thing that makes me hate Secret of Mana.
Yeah,
where
but...
you have to...
Yeah, but you also have the Mana Collection, available now!
And I bought it. I'm actually pretty happy about that.
I mean, $40 for a game that was never, like, officially translated, and plus 2 more. That seems like a fair price to me.
Totally. You know, like I was willing to break my bank for that. Like it's weird for me because like the only real connection I had with it was Final Fantasy Adventure, which I started playing and it's pretty janky, but I'm gonna still go through with it. It's mainly because it hits on like how I like Monster Hunter combat with the stagger, and this barely has any, if at all.
Right.
And so it's like you have to be more careful because it's like things will just keep running towards you as you're trying to kill them. So it's pretty whack in a way. But you know what? I have memories of it. I'll play it.
You know, I actually
I'll
almost
skip
came...
Secret of Mana, though.
You know, I actually almost came close to letting the recording run out again. I look over at the screen, and it's in mind like 6 seconds, and I'm like, oh shit.
Oh my.
No! You know, just move my mouse as slowly as humanly possible. God. Then we got a big announcement from Konami. Contra Rogue Core.
I'm still amazed there's actually a new Contra coming.
You know, actually, I looked it up. It looks like the guy who was working on this, he was the director on both Contra 3 and Contra Hardcore, Nobuya Nakazato.
Mm-hmm.
And the game is coming... Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, wow, I'm amazed someone who worked on those is still at Konami.
Yeah, me too. I would have thought he would have been purged. And the game is also coming to all 4 platforms, so that's PS4, Switch, Xbox One, and Steam.
Mm-hmm.
So is it confirmed that you have like twin stick style shooting in it?
It is a twin stick shooter. Yes, they call it a twin stick third-person action game.
Good.
The game is going to be $40. Oh wait, no, $40 for the limited edition. I don't know what that... Is there only a limited...
Maybe physical is limited?
Maybe physical is limited. I don't know what the basic price is. And then right after that, they announced that the Contra Anniversary Collection is available now. And I'm like, ah, man, I was really hoping that KI's thing about liking available now would just backfire on him every time. It did not. But it was
I
also
already have
available
that.
now and everything, so that's
Yeah, I
fine.
have the PS4 version.
Hooray! Now you can play hardcore for my amusement.
Mhm.
Well, no, we'll wait for the Japanese version to come out. I'm not mean.
No, I've 100%ed the American version. I'm willing to play it.
Hooray! No, wait,
What's the
play the
difference?
European version.
The European version actually has 60 frames per second option.
Does it?
But yeah.
Oh,
I
shit, that's
checked
cool.
it.
That's cool,
And
actually. Okay.
Same with the Probotector games. Of course, it does also offer the original 50 hertz.
Yeah, but who would be stupid enough to use that?
Exactly.
Who would be stupid enough?
He's like, who would be stupid to do this? I would. It's like, wait, what? I would be stupid enough to do this?
Why would anyone want to do that to them? Why would even Europeans want to do that to them? The only people who would use that would be Europeans who are like, "Oi, mate, I've perfected playing this game on this jank-ass 50 frames per second setting because that's what we had back in Mum's TV on the old PAL, me old PAL territories." Fucking hell. It's all I knew. God, where was I? Okay, so Contra, and then after that we got to see Super Waifu Wars 3 Houses. And Dari yelled at me for calling it that.
Oh, you're attacking it for no real reason. I mean, have you ever actually played any Fire Emblem games?
I played
I
Awakening,
actually
I played the Game Boy Advance one that they gave us as a ambassador game, and that's about it.
I mean, I pretty much took it as in jest.
I
'Cause it kinda
was
was like that for a
joking about it, yes. It was a joke, but apparently jokes aren't allowed.
No, I didn't care when you made the joke originally. It was like now you were just talking about so much like negativity towards it that it sounded like you were serious.
I know, I just don't... I'm just not really into Fire Emblem.
It was funny because I wasn't as into Three Houses when it was going through, but the trailer basically confirmed that one large leak that happened like a month ago.
Right.
And so that actually made me excited again.
Well, that's fair, but I mean, it's like, I just think it was funny that Dari got really insulted when I called it that. Well, there are husbands now, too, and I'm like...
What do you mean now?
What do you mean now? What are you talking about? That's... What? What?
Fire Emblem, the trailer in this direct, I had no idea what was going on. Story trailer. I expected a little bit more gameplay, but I guess, you know, the last direct was enough. I don't think, you know.
Well, they've been doing like these daily updates through Twitter, and unfortunately, I don't know what it is with the North American ones, but like they're so slow with getting these updates translated, and it kind of feels like it takes weeks for it to happen. And like it's even like that with the news channel on Twitch. You see like the Kirby news come out like when it was fresh and new, and it's like it took them forever to even get any videos about it for North Americans. And so I was just like, okay, I'm just relying on game forums again for this shit, I suppose.
Right.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I did realize that I did, in fact, skip out... Oh, wait, no, I didn't. I guess I didn't. Now, I've been skipping around, though, but I didn't skip what I was, like, looking forward to talking about the most. There was one thing, though. I would have called this a monkey's paw, but considering what happened with Commander Keen, I can't really, you know, call it that. The whole time E3 was going on, I was just like hoping, oh man, I hope we find out what Capcom's doing next. And then I did find out what Capcom was doing next. Resident Evil 5 and 6 ports to the Switch.
Well, it's apparently a law that every game in a franchise that skipped Nintendo has to have a Switch version.
Yeah, but like, Why didn't they like throw in Revelations in there? Is
Revelations is already on Switch.
Revelations is already on. Okay, fair enough
Yeah.
then. Well then, like, I'm just saying that like,
They were out of Resident Evils that people liked.
yeah, but like,
I actually hated that part of the Direct.
well, yeah, I know because let's see, was it you who said that it felt like a commercial despite
Yeah,
the
that was
fact?
me.
Okay, that was you. Yeah, you said that it felt like a commercial break in there, even though it. Or shit, I forgot to talk about Luigi's Mansion 3. Now that I think about it. Well, fuck
I'm
talking
actually
about fuck talking about this stupid ass port that broke my heart. I don't think. I'm beginning to think that we're not going to get another Capcom announcement this year. I think it's just going to be Icebound and all these ports that I don't give a fuck about.
I mean,
I
we
mean,
have
they
plenty
basically
of
said that. They already said that.
They already
I
said
mean,
what
there's
now?
Tokyo Game Show.
Does Capcom actually announce stuff at Tokyo Game Show?
I believe,
I don't
yeah.
know.
I know they definitely talk about Monster Hunter there.
Of course they talk about Monster Hunter in Japan. What are you talking about?
True.
Yeah, so Luigi's Mansion 3 looks fucking amazing to the extent where originally I said that when I was going to get a Switch, the first game I was probably going to get would be Super Mario Odyssey, but now I'm thinking it might be Luigi's Mansion 3.
You know, the thing I like so far is that it doesn't look like it has a level select.
Yeah, it looks like they went back, but here's the thing though, it's like they took the best elements of one, which was having just the one big mansion to explore.
Mm-hmm.
And then they took the awesome fact that, like, Dark Moon had a whole bunch more areas to explore. Like each of the mansions in Dark Moon were clearly bigger than, like, a segment in, like, a similarly paced segment in the original Luigi's Mansion, right? Can we all agree on that?
Yeah.
So it like took the best of both of those things and just crammed them together, and I'm completely enamored with that.
Yep.
Yeah, it looked like that more like variety in the types of areas like the second game did.
Right. The Guigi mechanic looks awesome.
Originally announced and implemented with hold on, what was it? The Luigi's Mansion 3D release. Although it was more for co-op. I don't think it had the special abilities since it was just a remake.
Well,
Yeah,
I
They
get that.
expanded on the frogs.
I'm just saying that I thought that it looked really cool because, you know, it did. It looked really cool.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I like how it's like they're expanding on the scope of it. He doesn't just have to save Mario, he has to save everyone.
Yeah, he has to save Peach and like 3 Toads.
Yeah.
3 Toads.
You can skip the Toads.
You can skip them. They don't matter.
Yeah, Luigi's Mansion 3 looks... When's it coming out? Oh, yeah, in the 2019...
They just said 2019.
Yeah, I mean, I'd imagine October. They already have a game for November, and it just feels like it belongs as a Halloween release.
I would love an October. That would be perfect.
Yeah.
So with that being said, let's get on with what I would consider the best announcement of the entire Direct.
Okay.
No More Heroes 3. It's finally fucking happening.
That looks really cool.
It really does.
Yeah, it does. I think it looks amazing. It was just a CG trailer, but, you know, it got me hard.
I don't think it was just CG. There were some gameplay parts, I'm pretty sure.
Really? Okay. Well, fair enough then. They say that Suda is going to do an announcement tomorrow. I thought it was going to be No More Heroes 3, but now I'm, like, I want to say it's probably going to be related to No More Heroes 3, but I'm just, I can't help myself. I really want it to be remasters of the first 2 games. I really want that.
I'd take it.
Hopefully, unlike everything that got Travis Strikes Again, let No More Heroes 3 be a timed exclusive on Switch. That would be fine with me. I've got no beef with that. But if we could get No More Heroes 1 and 2 on Switch, PS4, and Steam, fucking amazing.
That's never gonna happen.
Let me dream, damn it!
Yeah, there's not really any reason it wouldn't. 2 is the only one that's actually Nintendo exclusive still, although all of them are timed exclusives.
Although the weirdest part about that is that like some of the content from 2 ended up in the PS3 and Xbox 360 version of 1, which was really dumb, but I'll just let it lie. It's dumb, but it happened. Astral Chain still looks badass as hell.
Yeah, Astral Chain looks really cool.
Honestly, the trailer's voiceover kind of gave me a headache because Yuri Lowenthal and the woman were like talking at the same time, and it was just like disoriented. Like you know what I mean, right?
The dialogue gave me a headache, but
that's what. Well, you know what I mean. But like you heard the bits where Yuri Lowenthal and the woman were like talking at the same time. It was disorienting, though, right?
Yeah. I mean,
like I get what they're implying. Apparently, you can create your own character in the game. That's fine, but like, shit, just like switch back and forth for God's sakes.
Yeah. Yeah, they look really cool. I am glad there's a release date for that now.
Yep.
There's already one.
Oh yeah. Didn't that come with the original announcement? In fact.
Yeah.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it did. Last Direct, I believe.
I wasn't sure. Okay.
Daemon Ex Machina still looks fucking amazing.
And this, honestly, is the only game that I was not really into.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
How did you feel about the Panzer Dragoon remake?
Well, it's cool. Yeah, that's all right. It's not my style of game, but yeah, anybody who likes
what's really surprising is that Mario and Sonic Olympics 2020 game actually looks like it looked fucking rad though. It had like a Tony Hawk minigame in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I actually watched. I don't remember which year it was. I think it was the 2016 version or 2012 or whatever, where Game Grumps did like a crossover with a YouTube channel my mother watches. We came full circle in that part. And I was like, you know what, this actually looks pretty rad of a game. Like, because it's a spin-off, there's also these rad tracks that get remixed and whatnot, but we don't hear about them because it's like, oh, you know, that's probably not our kind of game.
Yeah.
I just download the soundtracks, honestly.
Did we already pass by... Oh, sorry, Kate, you go ahead. My bad.
No, it's done.
Now, we're not really doing this in order, so...
Okay,
I take it you want to talk about MUA 3?
No, I'm excited for that game. No, I was going to talk about Animal Crossing. New Horizons.
New Horizons actually... This is the first time that Animal Crossing has really been on my radar. Like, I wouldn't say that I'm definitely going to get the game, but it's the first time that was on my radar since the GameCube game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the crafting in it because I normally don't like crafting systems. I think that's because I don't like having them combined with combat where it can be like, oh, you didn't craft the right thing, you're screwed. But since Animal Crossing is just about collecting stuff, I think crafting works really well in it.
Yeah. And
go ahead.
I'm also a fan of... You make your own... I like New Leaf and all. But you're basically
you were
a
just the
newcomer
mayor
too.
of an existing village in that
Yeah,
one.
you're the mayor of an existing village, and you're a newcomer, but this time you create anything around you.
Yeah, I like that too. I like that you're essentially in charge of building the village from scratch, which I agree.
On a deserted island, no less.
Yeah, exactly, which I think is cool. I'm just wondering if the best Animal Crossing character in existence is going to come back.
What was it?
That would be Isabelle, of course.
I mean, I'm sure she will. They put her in Smash. They wouldn't do that if they were planning to cut her from the game
That's
that was
true,
announced simultaneously with her Smash announcement.
I'm just wondering how they're going to justify having her in this new setting, though. That's what I'm wondering.
I mean, obviously other people come there if you're building your own village.
I hope she comes back, though.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I love her.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What else have we got here? Does anyone want to talk about Pokemon?
I like the... Yeah, I am so glad that it looks like we will, after all, be rid of random battles.
Not exactly something that interesting to me. That part you mentioned. I'm not, but going to talking about Pokemon though, I'm not a fan of Game Freak's direction on Pokemon Home.
Actually, that's what I wanted to rant about.
You go
Okay,
ahead.
go for it, man.
You know more
Did you
about
guys
this.
talk about Banjo?
Wait, did we talk about what?
That other Smash Bros. Character?
Oh, no, we're going to save that for the end. But before you go into that rant, I just wanted to point out that Dari said that he was almost sexually attracted to the new gym leader. And
The minute I
that just put
saw
a smile on my face,
the
remembering.
first second I
Yes.
saw the gym leader, I knew fan art was inevitable.
Well, I
actually
mean, they
got
did that
ang-
with that redhead chick, too.
I got
Man,
angry when I saw her because I was like, I've been going to Pixel like almost every fucking day because the output increased because we have a new waifu, and then suddenly another one appears a week later. I'm like, God fucking damn it!
And that's
I
why you
wanted
posted that tweet in the Discord chat, isn't it?
pretty much.
I don't want to fap to you anymore. Ah, but yes, go ahead. Rant about Pokemon Home.
Okay, so all right. Actually, you know what? So initially, when Pokemon Sword and Shield were revealed, it kind of looked by the standards and didn't look too impressive at first. And so it's just like, in a way, it's like, this is what we waited for. It My cousin, who I told you guys about last week, I was kind of surprised where my low expectation rants somehow still managed to make him have way above expectations on where they were going to take Pokemon. Like, who in their right fucking mind would expect it to go in the way of like a Pokemon style game? It's
Dari
just
did.
ridiculous. Well, of course he did. It's just, I'm like, it's like, I don't mean this to be like a mean-spirited, but like, Pokemon was a fighting game. No one in their right mind would turn their game into a fighting game
Dari
for
wanted
millions
it
of
to turn
people.
into a fighting game.
I know, and I actually really don't
I
give a
mean,
shit.
it's
But-
like if it was a fighting game, that would actually be, if it played like Pokemon, that would actually be awesome. But that's completely ridiculous to think that's possible.
Yeah, eh, especially with related to the Pokemon Home shit. But anyway, so the second one came out, and I basically told you guys, why didn't they show this one first? Because this one actually looked better, at least, and it kind of sold the scope of the game more. And so, like, it was like the Nintendo Direct was basically positive and everything. There was nothing wrong with it. The Pokemon part was basically, oh hey, we have a booth here. Sorry for taking up 5 minutes of the Direct that we could be talking about other shit, but we're just telling you this is here. Um, and then we got to Treehouse. They started with Pokemon. And a few minutes in, they brought on Masuda, and usually every time he appears, that's when my heart usually sinks because I can't help but feel like I'm about to get bad news. And they gave the single worst possible news ever to Pokemon Home. Like, it's so bad that people are calling it Pokemon Jail now.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about, but go ahead.
So, all right. So since Let's Go, Pokemon Pikachu and Eevee, and I'm not going to say that this was the influence of their decision because I actually know better. But throughout Pokemon Let's Go, Eevee, Pikachu and Eevee, people were wondering if they would be able to bring their Pokemon from Let's Go into the next games and whatnot. And they sort of danced around it. They were like, oh, like, we don't want to, like, we know how heartbroken people were when they couldn't bring their favorite Pokemon from Pokemon Gold and Silver to Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, and we don't want to make that mistake again. And then they reassured us again when they announced Pokemon Home that people were upset that they couldn't take their Pokemon with them. And so we have Pokemon Home, which is an expanded concept. I say expanded. It seemed like it at the time that it was expanded. And so flash forward to yesterday now. Masuda comes on to the Treehouse Direct, and he tells us that you can only transfer Pokemon into Sword and Shield from Pokemon Home if they're in the Galar region Pokedex. And you're just like, I'm
my
sorry.
heart sank.
And I was like, it's like the last week you're like, oh, hey, Game Freak's actually making moves, and then this news happens, and it's like, oh, I was a fool to actually, have a semblance of faith, because this was the shit I was rambling about since Gen 6 ended, about how they keep taking 2 steps, actually just 1 step forward and 2 steps back in some fucking case. And the worst part is this was foreshadowed since Gen 7, not with Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee cutting features, but they were already cutting features since technically Gen 5, where Battle Frontier wasn't there, but they definitely made up for it with a Pokemon World Tour event where you could fight past trainers and whatnot. I'm not going to go into Gen 6 or 7, 6 stuff, but in Gen 7, they gutted out the National Pokedex. You could still bring Pokemon from that would be considered a National Pokedex Pokemon, but they technically wouldn't be acknowledged by your Pokedex. They just had the Pokedex entries on the Pokemon Bank. And, it's kind of lame. I didn't know how to read the shit on Pokemon Bank, because I didn't bother to spend time on there. But it's like you could still bring them there, and it's not like you could bring your Pokemon from the past immediately into Gen 6 or Gen 7, because in Gen 6, the bank hasn't released yet, and Gen 7, they haven't released an update until 2 months after. That's fine. It gives us time to get acclimated to what's there in the game. But in this case, even though it's coming out months after Sword and Shield comes out, we're only allowed to bring what's there. And we don't know how much is there. We know there's at least maybe 180 based on what we've seen because of evolutionary lines and shit. But it's the big reason why we don't rag on let's say Digimon or Dragon Quest monsters for not being able to bring our monsters forward is because they never set that expectation to begin with, like Pokemon did with Gold and Silver, where we can bring our companions to our new games, and that's why people got disappointed that you couldn't. And so that's been an ongoing thing. And so now with this movie, it's like they lied to us. They lied to us about being able to bring our Pokemon to Sword and Shield. We already complained about too many legendaries that you can't really use because even the in-game games, game rules block you from using them, even if they're not actually that good. But now it's just why would I want to transfer my Pokemon to Pokemon Home when I don't even know when I'll be able to use them again? I actually have a good example. The Shinx line to Luxray was introduced in Generation 4, and it technically has never been available since then. It's been 13 years since you could actually catch one in a mainline Pokemon game.
It's a shame. I like that thing.
Yeah, and it didn't appear again as a catchable Pokemon until Pokemon Go.
Oof.
Which is pretty fucked up. And
As
so,
it is,
considering how much it's been shafted and whatnot, I don't even remember if it got a Mega Form now that I think about it. I want to look that up while I'm ranting about this. Look, Mega Luxray.
Yeah, I was actually... The funny
No,
thing
it
is
wasn't.
that when I knew that you were going to start ranting about this, I was going to wonder what, like, if KI was going to have a counterpoint to it, because I think he might.
And and so we don't even know if Luxray will be there. But considering how much it got shafted, can you blame him? Do you think Luxray will be in there? Yeah, I don't think so.
I mean,
Like, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not even sure if it's safe to assume that all the Gen 1 Pokemon will make it.
I think...
Go on, real quick.
Go
What?
ahead, KI. Go ahead, KI.
I think... I really think they have to at some point. They're going to have to stop including every single Pokemon. We're getting close to 1,000, and...
But they've already started doing that, though. Like technically speaking, they've been doing that since Gen 3. It's just, they don't have to be part of the main Pokedex, but you can still go, oh, you can just transfer them in there.
the main Pokedex, though, is not something I would be satisfied. It doesn't feel very satisfactory to 100% it. I really wish they didn't have this chain where you could bring all the ones from Gen 3 over. I think that really feels like it's been used as an excuse to, like you said, not let you catch Pokemon in current gens. It's got to the point where trying to catch all of them is so overwhelming if you haven't been doing it every single gen. Like, I caught all of them in 4, and even then, because I didn't hold on to all of them, I was completely... 5 was completely overwhelming, because I'd have to get all these Pokemon that I had never actually... that I had only been able to get people to let me hold for Dex credit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like if it was more like the other ones, like the other games I mentioned, I don't think we would be complaining as much. Although, like, there's still things we would complain about, like, how come my favorite was neglected for this release, especially Luxray, if you like that Pokemon.
I did like Luxray, actually. That was, like, one of the few things I liked about Diamond and Pearl.
And it's just like, where is it? Come on. I don't care if it's not that good. I want the Luxray to be there and whatnot, and it hasn't been there. Like it's a cool Pokemon. It's not one I've actually used, but it's pretty cool.
I did actually use it a lot when I was playing Diamond and Pearl.
Mm-hmm. And like, I know we have our own favorites and whatnot, but I can't even buy the excuse of needing to make models and animations, because first of all, like, we're not, like, no one has asked for all 800 something Pokemon to actually be roaming within the Galar region. Just that, here's the Pokemon that will be here natively, and these are the Pokemon that will be roaming and whatnot in this area, and then the rest of the Pokemon, you can transfer them in or do something that doesn't require as much work. I could understand that, but that's not what happened. The animations and models, they've started doing this since the Pokedex 3D, and like, the models were basically ready. We know they had the walking animation since either Gen 6 or Gen 7. And they basically tweak a few of those, like Venusaur hopping around like a fucking frog, which kind of upended its design to me, and whatnot. But other than that, it's just like, I know they want to be a small developer, but it kind of feels like it's hurting them for real since Gen 6, and it's showing even more. And I know they put out an interview where they basically admitted that it's not their main focus, the franchise. They're trying to do other things in hopes that it could be as big as Pokemon, at least.
That'll just never happen.
Pretty much. And like, I hate to be mean, but it's like, there's some that are great, there's some that are good, but I just don't feel like they ever really got to the point Pokemon has gotten to its highest in terms of quality, and I'm just like, I'm not sure what exactly they're trying to do to see what they bring back to Pokemon. It feels like most of the stuff they're getting is from a game they technically aren't making, Pokemon Go, and I'm putting aside my general dislike of the fact that spin-offs are practically mobile only from this point on.
Right.
But I'm genuinely upset about this news. Like I frequently said that, like, I know Nintendo may have some weird quirks at times, but Game Freak's in their own world, and like compared to Mario Maker, where they're like, oh, once again there's an issue with something we did, so we're going to do a post-launch update, which really makes it a sequel to Mario Maker when you think about it. But at least they listened to that criticism and are addressing that.
Yeah,
online.
I mean, expecting it day one after they said that they weren't going to do it is insane, but at least they're saying that they're going to do a post-release patch.
Right, but it's like people have been complaining about like missing things and the declining quality for Pokemon since Omega Ruby and Sapphire, because it didn't have the Battle Frontier. And it's like you can even tell from their interviews that they didn't really care. And they basically shown that they don't really care. Like they made it sound like there's this policy that what they're doing with Pokemon Home is what they're going to do going forward. And I'm kind of sitting here, and I'm obviously mixed feelings, even though I hate the news, because it's like, on one hand, I am pretty tired of people complaining about there's too many Pokemon, but at the same time, that's something they brought upon themselves with how they made the games and whatnot, and how overly convoluted Gen 3 was to get everything. But I don't know.
I feel like we kind of talked about giving Pokemon a lot of time now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you talked more than I did.
It doesn't feel like that.
In all fairness, I just sort of started like tuning you out at points.
No, I mean...
No, I meant about the Pokemon talk.
No, I was about to talk about, Can we talk about the, what was it? Fuck, I forgot.
Oh, right.
Something at Nintendo's Direct.
Oh, yeah, Nintendo's Direct.
Before you go on, just one last thing.
One more thing.
Yeah, one more thing.
One more thing.
Mega Evolution and Z moves were also gutted.
Well, yeah, now they're fucking giant Raichus, apparently.
Well, yeah, but like Mega Evolutions weren't gutted with Z moves, but now it's gutted, period.
Cool.
So it was a complete waste of fucking time and effort that we could have gotten more Pokemon out of.
I mean, I think the other problem is that, like, they probably just don't have as many ideas for new Pokemon anymore. I mean the whole concept of the Alolan form seemed to be a pretty major like clue to the fact that they were running low on idea. I feel like if you're just going to like tweak existing designs and like treat them like new Pokemon, but they're not really new Pokemon, but they might as well be new Pokemon, then that's a sure sign that they're kind of running low on ideas.
I hate when I run low on ideas.
Yeah.
I also hate when I run low on ideas.
So what were you going to say, Psych?
Are we going to talk about the new Smasher character?
Yeah, I was going to talk about the rest of the stuff before that then, but...
I mean, what was the... yeah, that's
Link's
what I was
Awakening
to...
still looks good.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to get that game.
Slightly less down on it because he was worried it was going to be a 1-to-1 remake, as I recall.
Yeah, it's like people keep calling it a dungeon maker. As far as I can tell, it's It's more. It's like a set of dungeons that
It's
they
more
let
like
you.
Zelda remix.
Yeah, because I mean they even had something like that in Skyward Sword. They had a dungeon where you could change around the order the rooms were in.
Right. Psych, did you see that Alien Isolation was in their sizzle reel?
Dude, that was crazy. That was
I know,
out of
right?
nowhere.
I thought that Sega lost the rights to Alien. I mean,
Me too.
they were like
Yeah,
making
yeah.
that mobile game, weren't they? That's why we kind of assumed that.
But they surprised us, and it's going to be a port on the Switch.
I mean, that's cool.
There's
like
no
that.
release date. Just says 2019.
It's still this year, so maybe it'll be around
Yeah.
Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Spyro is also coming to Switch and PC via Steam, which makes me happy. That'll be out September 3rd. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Sizzle Reel. Yeah,
They also have.
Go ahead.
They also had their second like Microsoft game in the sizzle reel, Super Lucky's Tale.
Yeah. Which honestly I think looks great. And then I guess we can finally talk about the other Smash character that released. I just want to say one thing before we get into it. When Dario was watching the trailer, he thought it was Tiny Kong.
People would have been so pissed off if it had been Tiny Kong.
Like, there was even a Jiggy in it, and he was like, is it Tiny Kong?
Let's face it. I mean, people would have been pissed off if it wasn't Banjo. You know?
Well, people would have been really pissed off if it were Minecraft Steve or whatever the fuck his name
Oh
is.
shit, I would have been pissed off too. Like, what the heck?
He's not even a character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, I know there's avatar characters in the game, but they're more of a character than he is.
Yeah, but I mean, they're... But what about Minecraft Story Mode? No longer available on anything.
Really?
Except unless you bought it on GOG already.
Oh my god. That's amazing.
I know, right? You can't even download it anymore, apparently. The rights... GOG was the only platform that negotiated the rights to download the game after it was taken down. That's
Good.
fucked up, yo. That's seriously... I mean, I'm sure that Microsoft's gonna fix that soon, but, like, Jesus Christ almighty.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucked up. It's really fucked up. But yeah, Banjo-Kazooie are the other Smash characters, which looked fucking cool, actually.
Yeah, he looks cool. I didn't talk about the Dragon Quest characters, though, like Luminary.
Oh, you didn't talk about them? Oh,
No,
okay.
I was away for
Oh,
a
yeah,
second.
you were away. Okay, go ahead. Talk about
No,
the...
I just want to say it looks really cool. The music is really a nice touch. The stage looks amazing. But I think the Banjo-Kazooie stage looks even more great.
I mean,
right,
Gruntilda's in it, so... People are actually hoping that Gruntilda actually just starts mocking characters in her usual, like, rhyming way.
Yep. That would be really cool.
That would
Like,
be cool.
the other thing I noticed about the Banjo stage was, like, it rotates.
Yeah, I noticed that too. That was interesting.
Yeah. The thing is, though, with both the hero and Banjo, I have no personal connection to these characters. I have no nostalgia reasons to be excited. They look cool, but honestly, it goes over my head a little bit, you know? I'm not saying that they're bad characters. I'm just saying I don't have any reason to be super excited.
I do remember playing a little bit of Banjo-Kazooie at a friend's house when I was a kid.
I played a bit at the store. Yeah.
I liked it more than Mario 64, and K.I. got really mad at me when I said that. So he
Did
made
you
me
say
play
that
Mario
before
64.
you had actually played Mario 64?
I had played Mario 64 back then. I'm just saying that I liked what I played of Banjo-Kazooie more than what I played of Mario 64 at the time.
I will
Sorry, what did you say, Psych?
say that what I played at the store, I really did like the aesthetic of the game. It was very, 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 very funny.
Like,
I liked it. Yeah.
Like, I agree with you. Dragon Quest doesn't resonate with me whatsoever, but I can at least acknowledge that it's an important franchise,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I'm cool with it. Like, not everything has to resonate with me specifically, but if I can like at least acknowledge that it resonates with a lot of people, then I just accept it. Having said that, I'm still hoping that I'm keeping the hope alive for Doom Guy.
Yeah. He's definitely he was like tied with Banjo for my most wanted, so now he's easily my most wanted.
Yeah. No,
I
wouldn't be
think
opposed
he's
to him either.
possible. I feel like if they could get Bayonetta in there, then I think that Doom Guy has a chance.
So we only have one more character to be announced, right?
I thought
Now
we
we
had
have
two.
2.
Two more? Two more?
Yeah, I think there were
Okay.
5 in the past.
Joker.
And
Oh yeah,
we
that's
got,
right. That's
Joker,
right. That's correct.
Hero,
Hero,
and Banjo. Yep.
Yeah.
So that's
Interesting choices.
I mean,
But
I feel like it speaks to. I feel like it's fitting for Smash Brothers. You've got a character from a game that's new and somewhat serious. You've got a character that from a classic series, and then you've got fucking Banjo-Kazooie.
yeah.
Which
Jordan.
people have wanted Banjo-Kazooie in those games since I think the original fucking Smash Brothers. Come to think of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's correct. I don't know if you've been on Twitter recently when you've seen his Jordan's tweets. He got fucking excited.
Oh yeah, no, he's been talking about that for a while. He was really disappointed when they didn't say anything about like about him in Smash at the Microsoft thing, which I honestly boggles the mind in my opinion. I feel like Nintendo is incredibly Nintendo is like the exact opposite of Square Enix when it comes to announcements, basically.
Mm-hmm.
They are incredibly guarded about that shit.
I don't understand. Why would he expect the Banjo trailer to be at Microsoft's press conference?
I think what they were thinking is that it was going to be like an announcement that like Rare Replay was coming to Switch, and then that shit basically,
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. And now apparently there is a listing on Amazon Germany for a Banjo-Kazooie game on the Switch.
I'll wait and see.
Okay.
People are thinking it might be a remake.
It's a wait-and-see situation.
Yeah, I would agree that it's definitely a wait-and-see situation.
Yeah, I can't see a new game with a Microsoft property debuting on Switch.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with you. I don't think that this is... I'm not going to say it's not real, but I don't think it's, like, all the information involved.
So, surprisingly, though, moving a little bit, Banjo was not the last announcement.
Yes,
one more thing!
Unlike some companies, they did one more thing correctly.
One more thing.
Exactly. And you know what? At first, I thought it was going to be DLC, but I was surprisingly proven wrong.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly proven wrong. I cannot wait for this game. The first one, the Breath of the Wild, is amazing. It's a game of the year.
Isn't it like the best-selling Zelda game ever?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm surprised that there was any question in that case then.
I mean, there wasn't a question, it was more like, when can we get it? I mean, we've seen more of it than Metroid Prime 4, and they said in an interview,
And
it sounds
Bayonetta
like...
3.
They said in an interview, I think we've seen about exactly the same as Bayonetta 3, but we saw they said in an interview that they are reusing a lot of stuff from Breath of the Wild, so...
Makes sense.
Is
Yeah,
anyone really going to be that... Should anyone really be that pissed off about that? I feel like...
No, what I'm saying is that's a good thing, because it means we probably aren't going to end up like Metroid Prime 4 and Bayonetta 3. Like,
Right.
I think there's a good chance we could get it next year.
I believe that's... I remember King Zell, like, referencing that Breath of the Wild fans would be happy in 2020. And this is clearly the title that he was talking about.
Yeah.
So
If it's
there's a good
2020,
chance-
then it has to be November 2020, I'd say.
Oh yeah, it'll probably be... and I analyzed the trailer, and I found some things that made me happy. Link had his sword, like, as part of his standard character model, even when he was holding the torch on Breath of the Wild. You could have a torch or a sword. They both took the same slot, which I did not I hated the durability system to begin with, and if they're using the same world, that means that they're probably going to have much more of an emphasis on dungeon-style areas.
Right.
And
They showed them underground. And
Oh
even
yeah, why didn't you mention the key?
I was about to. They had the
Sorry.
key. They found a key underground, so it looked like they were, like, the very first thing we saw appeared to be them in a dungeon.
Well, it seems to be working on exactly what I thought Breath of the Wild was, which was basically just a new foundation.
Like an open world Zelda.
Yeah, and then basically expand on that, and it seems like that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Which is a good idea, because if they didn't, then I'd probably actually shit on Breath of the Wild a bit more.
Yeah, I've been nervous ever since we found out, like, details about it. I just really want another Zelda. I mean, that was one of the main reasons I was so upset that Link's Awakening wasn't a full new Zelda. I just wanted reassurance that we'd get them with a permanent sword in dungeons again.
See, I'm of the mixed feeling. My opinions really don't align with yours, KI's and KG's. I understand they're expanding on the concept of open world Zelda in the next one, mixing Breath of the Wild elements with the traditional Zelda flair. You know, just the keys and the dungeon and the exploration. And while that seems cool, I really think they're not going to change much in regards to what worked in the first Breath of the Wild, in Breath of the Wild, like the weapon system. I don't think that's going to go away. I think
Personally,
weapons
I'm not
will
sure.
break. I think weapons will break. And
Weapons breaking what I liked about Zelda so much was that every item was unique. You didn't have any repetitive weapons. You just got everything had so many uses and was used and had so much thought put into it.
yeah, but in keeping with the spirit of Breath of the Wild, I think they're just gonna continue doing that kind of thing where it's gonna be lots of weapons that do mostly similar things.
I'm
and
not
gonna break.
sure. I'm not entirely sure if that would be the case. I mean, like, it felt more like that's what they did since it was a little more survival based, but I don't think they would necessarily have to be more survival based.
Yeah, I mean, did the end... I mean, I guess, you know, spoiler warning, obviously, but did the end of the game, like, imply that Hyrule was being rebuilt, or...
Yeah, basically
Yes,
it ended with Ganon's defeated, and basically Link and Zelda say we have the task of building Hyrule now.
Mm-hmm.
Rebuilding Hyrule.
Right, and
Yeah.
so, you know, unlike going, alright, we're going to Termina, which is a dream world, or a Link's Awakening, where it's also a dream world, or Phantom Hourglass, which also happens to be a dream world, you know, at least it looks like this is a continuation of the same world, and, you know, I'm actually hoping that means it gets filled in a bit more. There's one thing I wanted to bring up, and to be honest, I'm a bit scared about it, and I just need I just need your time to understand what I'm about to say and how I explain it. I say this because in an interview, and Aonuma said that many of the younger staff on Breath of the Wild 2 are playing and inspired by Red Dead Redemption 2.
Uh-oh.
And I say...
Fucking damn it!
Hold up! K.I., let me finish.
I heard about this already.
This is exactly why I said what I needed to say. Inspiration doesn't mean the basis of a game. There's a difference between being inspired and going, alright, let's make exactly this. Because they did say they were inspired by Skyrim for Breath of the Wild, but they play completely differently.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I was worried about that statement initially, but I realized that okay, maybe they'll see the mistakes. I'm pretty sure they'll see the mistakes of
Well,
the
right, because
yeah.
Yeah,
and improve
because
on it.
even the Rockstar said they were inspired by Breath of the Wild. And of course, what they did is completely different. They did it in their own style, and whatnot, in their Rockstar way. And of course, it's a very divisive game. And so, of course, you have the hot takes. And so, like, I do recall certain things like the general, like how the world in itself basically had a more fulfilling wildlife, for example. So in a sense, if they were inspired by how fulfilling the world was with wildlife, that's something to fill your world with, basically. So there's that. I don't necessarily think there's anything else they would take from it, though, because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure what they're basically just doing is like not throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
No, I feel like
Because,
they're. Yeah, go ahead.
because like again, what Rockstar and Nintendo does is completely the exact opposite.
Yeah.
In their game design. So I'm not necessarily worried, especially if what we got already was basically from Skyrim, and a lot of the things some of the things in Breath of the Wild specifically felt more like a criticism of open world games. Like how they advertise how you see that mountain, you can go there, and they're like, how about we make that a reality kind of thing?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That they saw Skyrim, and they actually gave you the liberty of doing anything. I mean, well, not doing anything, but going everywhere.
Right.
And, looking at anything, just looking at anything and set your sights at that thing and just
Right.
walk over there. Yeah, just do it. Go over there.
Right. And at this point, though, with the Breath of the Wild sequel, there's still much to see before we even know what's changed, what's different. I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if the inventory system and the food system got reworked. It was kind of something I wanted them to do for the hard mode, specifically, in Breath of the Wild. So, I don't know. Who knows? It was something that needed to be tweaked, in my opinion.
Listen, if I think that the open world thing is going to be greatly scaled down.
I wouldn't be surprised. I doubt much of the world will probably be as relevant, per se. And it might seem like the elements will still be there, but maybe just not to that extent.
Listen, I mean, if you're going to sacrifice something that made Breath of the Wild, I think one of the things that you're going to implement is something along the lines of a more traditional Zelda. Like a weapon was unique weapons, dungeons.
I sort of said something along the lines back then. We were kind of discussing about it, where it's like you can have like a base level weapon of everything, and then just upgrade that over time, instead of just finding stuff, because there's no point in needing to survive if the next game is basically, alright, we're rebuilding this shit.
I mean, one thing, every Zelda, this is easy to lose track of because people change what they complain about every time, but I'm pretty sure every 3D Zelda did directly address the complaints people had about the previous one.
Right. So, like, again, I'm not particularly worried about any of this. Like, it just tells me really that, at least the developers at Nintendo, they have a more healthy lifestyle compared to what we usually hear about. They actually have time to explore different games, see the gold nuggets they have, because you can't really do much if you're just staying within a bubble. per se, and that's a big reason why Anthem became what it was, because they didn't want to be memed. They didn't want to be like Destiny, and so they just looked inward, and we ended up with what we got.
A boring ass AAA game.
Not even that.
Well, no, I mean, I don't know. It's just, it seems a little bit redundant to make another open world Zelda, with the same. What are you going to change in Hyrule?
I mean,
The geology. I mean, that's kind of weird.
I don't think the.
I think you mean the geography.
I mean, no, the geology. I mean, rock formations. What
Okay,
I mean, landscapes. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I think part of it is just like, maybe we'll have more towns or something. I don't know.
I would
like more settlements and shit, basically.
I would have a lot more towns. I would have both underground dungeons and maybe areas. Even have like structures people built that. They found like that Ganon underground. They could have like the curse coming back and taking over areas that were built to turn them into dungeons.
Right. I mean, we know why they're reusing it, basically. I mean, like, rather than just have one Zelda per console, let's get another one out. And, that's basically the main reason.
I mean, NES had to.
Yeah, and I can't hate on that. I understand that. It's nice to, hopefully do more with the world, considering, for the most part, most of the interesting stuff already happened when you're playing Breath of the Wild. It's a fun playground, but let's see if they can make it more than a playground. And if not, then we can go from there.
At least you're not calling it barren, because it's not barren.
Oh yeah, it wasn't barren. That was... Breath of the Wild's overworld itself, I had no problem with that. My only... If they had taken out the breakable weapons and they had put like 9 dungeons in various places in the overworld, I would have had absolutely no issues with it.
The thing is, though, 9 dungeons for an open world that big, it seems like it's very limited in content. Unless the dungeons had to be like over an hour of gameplay or something.
Well, maybe the better idea to look at it would be to have like more dungeons then, like.
I mean, we're talking about shrines.
No, I mean like he means like more. From what I've gleaned of the game, isn't a shrine basically like a puzzle room?
It's a mini dungeon. It's a mini dungeon.
They are incredibly varied in how long they are. Like they range from one room to like maybe a quarter of a like Ocarina of Time dungeon.
So like one floor of an Ocarina of Time dungeon.
Yeah, it's like some are literally just reward rooms that you get for doing like a dungeon style area in the overworld. Some are just fights. Shrines are not at all uniform in how much content they have.
I believe I haven't played the DLC ones, but I believe the shrines there are even larger since there's only they only really added 4, but they basically did a lot.
No, they added more than I'm pretty sure they added 12 shrines.
Yeah, they did.
Actually, yeah, that makes sense because you were missing like either missing 3 upgrades for your stamina wheel or 3 hearts. So 12 made sense.
I think, if I recall, the first DLC was a lot harder than the second one.
The first
That's
DLC,
just my opinion, though.
actually, I liked
it. Was hard mode.
The first DLC, I liked the Trial of the Sword a lot. It's like if they want to have weapon durability, if it was only in certain areas where you did like maybe you go to areas where the Master Sword won't work until you do something to clear some kind of curse in it, and you have to deal with breakable weapons until then, I would be okay with that.
Yeah, like I feel like the sky's the limit with what they could really do. I've mainly been interested in seeing what more they can do going forward, because at least it's not exactly a a well-treaded path for them. So yeah, I guess that's basically where my biggest interest comes from for this.
I really think they have to, really push the boundaries again, because if they go back to this traditional style of Zelda gameplay, where dungeons and weapons are found and maps and keys are found, I really think they're just going to have some kind of creative breakthrough. If you want to combine that with the open world Zelda or Breath of the Wild. Yeah,
Well, again, that's why I said, let's see what they can do.
yeah, I'm
Impress
just...
me.
Yeah, and I think that the work is coming out for them, and and this is what leads to my other point. I wanted to go back and I say I don't think that it's coming out next year, not even late next year. I think it's probably going to come out not late 2021, but maybe around there.
In case of like delays or whatnot.
I mean,
That's-
maybe delays, maybe. If there is delays, then it's probably going to be late. But I'm looking at a second quarter 2021 release date for Zelda.
I would probably actually put that like as at the worst kind of.
I think he means that that's just like his hallmark.
Exactly.
Like we all said things like 2020, but I mean I guess it is entirely possible that this could have been like another sort of Bayonetta 3 style teaser, although hopefully not. I mean, at the very least with Bayonetta 3, Platinum Games worked on an entirely different game through from the time that Bayonetta 3 was announced until now, and that's gonna be out in August, so.
And with Metroid Prime 4, something went wrong during development. I don't think they ever intentionally released these teasers knowing, okay, it's going to be 3+ years.
Oh no, I know that. I'm just saying that, I see his point where he says that we might be underestimating just how long it'll take to get Breath of the Wild 2, a working title, into people's hands. I see his point there.
And it also depends on how long they've been working on it internally. I think there's a good chance they could have started as soon as the second DLC was done, which was at the end of 2017.
That's entirely possible and plausible. I just think, considering that the Zelda release windows, the cycle of when they come out, it's kind of long. There's a long gap between each title.
Yeah, I think, though, they actually compared this to Majora's Mask and how this would let them get it out sooner, and Majora's Mask was a huge exception. It came out just 2 years after. I mean, they can't do that anymore because games take so much longer to develop, but I think 3.5 years would be doable.
I think it's just mainly for the short time of development.
I think it's mainly due to the fact that both of the games are being built off of a earlier game that was, significant. That was
They have a ton of assets.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so think we can wrap things up then.
Let's call it.
I know we usually drag out
we do.
The end part, but I will actually cut to the chase on this one. It's 2:15, and I have work in 7 hours.
Yeah, let's
I have work too.
Okay.
Right,
okay,
guys.
so until next time, this has been Side B, signing off.
We'll see you
Good
next
night.
year.
Yeah.
See you next year.
Well, some of us at least.
Some of us. Later.
Bye.